hello, hello. So yeah, I'm just popping up because I got the opportunity to do so. It's not very often these days that I'm alone awake at this time, but the rest of the family decided to sleep early, which might not be very early to some. It's 10:13 p.m., but yeah, we are night owls in this house, so I just I just needed to take the opportunity, I think. I've been working a lot around the house with trying to fix stuff. You've seen this new background, there's new stuff going on in the rest of the house too. So, yeah, sitting down and hanging out is just what I wanted to do today. So, I'm really happy to be able to do that because it doesn't happen very often. I do get to hang out with the Dawn Yarn Doll occasionally, like on Sundays, because I did manage to persuade the family to let me do so. I did take a little bit of a, you know, persuading them, I guess. But yeah, I don't even remember. It's been a while since I went live just like this. I guess it kind of also has to do with the fact that since I did schedule the Sundays, I don't really well, I talked them into that, so it's not as easy to talk them into like impromptu streams left, right, and center the other days. But yes, I see Dawn is hanging out in the chat. I know she was tired today, so hopefully she's gonna be hanging out for a bit. But if she falls asleep on the bed, I'm not gonna be surprised. And baked with Miss Red, hello, how are you? Yeah, family takes a lot, and being a mom takes away a lot of you because you're a mom and then you're, you know, taking care of all the stuff around the house, baking, cooking, cleaning, all of that type of thing. So, yeah, it's just, I'm happy I get time to crochet because I have done that. I did do a little bit yesterday when I was hanging out with Dawn. I was working on this that now turned into a pumpkin and it's finished actually. So, yeah, if you were here hanging out scrap dolling, you did see a piece of sparkly orange in my hand, and now it has a purple stem, a purple twirly thing, and a leaf. And it's actually looking like a pumpkin. And it's really squeezable. I'm happy that I didn't overdo the stuffing because stuffing, like, I don't really need it. It's looking good as it is. But if knowing me, I probably would have stuffed it more if I wasn't going to just have it here on my own shelf. It's kind of cheap, I guess. Oh, not cheap, but I'm I'm using the pillows from IKEA. Cheap IKEA pillows, that's what I trash to get stuffing. Like literally. It's a pillow and I opened it and that's how it's the cheapest stuff I can get stuffing wise, and it since it is a pillow it is tested so for like harmful substance all of that, um so it could definitely go into toys, it could be used for anything that's going to be you're using. um it's for pillows, so yeah, but it's a lot softer and squishier than a lot of other makes I've done. Also, it's an acrylic yarn, and that is softer and not as dense fabric as if I would have used like a cotton, and I don't want it to like the stuffing to fall out, so I do use a small hook to get it as nice and tight as possible. Yeah, I'm a loose hooker, so I have to downsize and hook size to get dense fabrics. That's what I do. So, hello, Chris. How are you today? Nice to see you. It's been a while. Yes, sparkles. I did. I did. I was a little bit silly for a bit because I've been, now I have this thinner, sparkly headband, but I've been putting stuff on my head, left, right, and center. I did a big elephant in this type of snuggle yarn. well, not this exact yarn, but like, you know, this fluffy stuff. And unfortunately, I don't have it here. But when I had it, I was sitting with it on my head. So I was like joking around a little bit earlier that I could be like, you know, in the UK, the fancy ladies have like these small hats, often on like a bit to the side when they go out and be all fancy. So I could put this on my like you know, just my headset, or maybe on one of them headbands that I have, like this one, and have it as a hat for Halloween. Would that be a thing? The pumpkin hat. Because I think it's kind of fun just to. I feel it's snagging a bit on this metal, but is this a thing? Pumpkin head? I really love how the sparkles in the yarn is being picked up, though, that you can really see it. Even in the orange one, like in the purple, it does really stick out. It's purple sparkle on purple yarn, and it's orange sparkle in orange yarn, and then I could do something with this beigey with silver-ish as well. I'm thinking like making more pumpkins, different sizes, different combinations, maybe purple and this, or the orange in this one, a trio maybe. One orange with the beige, and then a beige silver, or like a beige purple. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the pumpkin was made. It's done. It's sitting here. It's hanging out. And I know it's not a Friday, but since I finished the pumpkin, I might as well just go for like somewhat of a finished objects type of thing, because I have some other things I actually finished. You'd not kick someone out of bed with a pumpkin. Okay. So yeah, I do have more things to. What do I have that's finished? Okay, I have this one, and it's actually it's not the prettiest thing I've ever done. I'm gonna be honest. It looks like shit, and it's actually something that broke, and I tried to repair it to the best of my abilities, and I had to use a sewing machine. But it's, you know, it's there's things here that's not um yeah, I'm not really proud of all of the work I put into this. Hello, Molly. How are you? Welcome here. Um, it's a laptop table, and it's full of these teeny tiny plasticky beads. The lighter stuff, you can find them in bean bags, I think. The light fluffy stuff. So it is a laptop table like this. It does have a Velcro piece, and it did have, you know, a big pillow underneath, and the pillow broke. So my solution was to somewhat sew a new pillow, reuse the old Velcro, and add some crochet to it to make it fancy. Okay, and you might have seen the piece of crochet that I added, but not knowing that I had a plan. But the kitties are here. We got the yellow and blue kitty cats in mosaic. That's the underneath of this laptop table. So you can see there's a pillow in white, and this is the old Velcro, and the old fabric actually has cows. So I saved the old. I just, you know, cut it out, and then I made a new pillow, and I filled it up with all these plasticky beads, and I added some crochet to it. So my sewing machine did not like me doing this because the crochet, the mosaic, and these like double layer fabric was a bit thicker than my sewing machine was happy. Yeah. Hello, Ross. How are you? Skill Module Ninja is in the house. And I'm talking about kitty cats on a laptop table with cows. Yeah, I figured it was a cute detail to leave the old fabric in because that was a big part of why this was purchased in the first place. So hopefully I'll be able to return this to the owner soon. It's just been very hectic in their lives, so it it doesn't we didn't have time to deliver it yet. Yeah, it looks fine on camera, but like the corners are not straight. There's issues, okay? But the important part is I managed to add crocheted kittens or cats, and I solved the issue. Is now secure. This is definitely a lot thicker, more sturdy fabric. So if it breaks, it's not going to be because of the material I picked. It's going to be like because someone put a knife in it or cat scratch or something, Um, it's good material this time. So I did manage that. I just hope I can return it very soon. Um, and yeah, so that has been finished for a while, and I don't even know why I haven't showed you guys before. I guess it's just that I wasn't proud of how it looks. It's gonna be good for the purpose, but it's not um just not good enough in my own eyes. Yeah, I was talking about moo and kitty cats. Yes, I was. So what else did I finish? I finished this one. So this one has been in the making for a long time. This is a big doily type of thing. I made one um is it it's over a year ago. A year and a half ago. That was like in cream, lavenders and mauve type of colors. And that one moved out because it fit like color wise it fit someone else better than it fit me. So I'm just gonna do like that, maybe better lighting. And then I this is one of the yarn cakes like these ones that I got in a mystery bag. It actually looked pretty similar to that one with the black on the outside, but then it was this teal color in the center. So this is a Sultan shadow cake, just like the black one, as well as the yellow one. It's also a shadow cake, but this is a teal one, and I love making this one. It's just been taking a lot of time because I didn't prioritize this since it is for me. The plan is to put it in. Well, it the plan was to put it on my living room table or my dining table, but that was before we did all this renovation. And now the room I'm in used to be living room, dining room, and now it's office slash living room instead. So when we get a couch table or like a table for the sofa, that's probably where this one's going to end up living. So yeah, I have been working on it for a long time. I started it like last year, but I didn't prioritize it. Other things came to happen instead or like in between. And then I was asked to make two more. So I did make two more in similar colors to these ones. There's a minty one and then there's this pink one. The one I did was like this one with a dark pink to a light pink, and then there was a dark teal to a lighter teal. But yeah, this would be the darkest teal and then going to more of a light teal. So I did them. And then I just felt like I needed to finish this one. Hello, Butterroll Boutique and Michelle J. How are you? Yeah, so like this was finished just a few days ago, but it's been a long time in the making. Um, I love that it is really thick. It's made in the thin cake yarns. These are like, four thin strands of cotton just not twisted together, just held together. That's the type of yarn I do prefer working with. This blanket is the same type of yarn. Um, but you still get this really dense result, the like the final result. This is the same amount of yarn I would use to make a shawl, but a shawl is a lot bigger, and this is not as big as a shawl, but it's the same amount of yarn. Yeah, so I started last year, but it's been the two I did earlier this year. Um, they are a lot faster than I expected to make, because I did kind of time it. I don't remember if I actually have the. Oh, might as well do like that. Do I still have? Because I know I messed up a little bit and accidentally removed things. No, it's not still here. I I think it took one of them took me like 30 hours and the other one took me like 24 hours to make from start to finish. And I don't know where the pattern is available at the moment, because when I got the pattern, it's called the Asteria. Um, the pattern designer is from Russia, and with the world how it looks right now, there was a lot of not so kind words between the designer and, well, a lot of the people following her, liking her patterns. So I know that she removed her patterns from places that you could find it before, and that you there was other people that started to share the pattern left, right, and center. So I don't know if the patterns out there are her patterns or people just copying it, and I don't know. I do think that there are places you could find it or similar patterns as this one. I know that the other ones I've made, this is the original pattern, the amount of these petals, but I have also done extra petals just to make sure that I get all the colors of the yarn changes. Using small hooks and get this dense type of pattern, you will have leftover yarn. So I've had this one I did with a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook, but I've also done in 3 millimeter, and switching out a little bit to get different results. And this one just, yeah, with that small of a hook, I did have leftovers, quite a bit of it actually, but not enough to make the next round. So the leftovers from this one is actually already been used up as a beginning of this shawl that I'm decided to start making. So all the black until here is the leftovers from the cake. So I did get quite a few rows, but it would not have been enough for more petals on the doily thing. So I started this one, and it's kind of semi-circle. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of a spider webby thing. Someone mentioned bat wings, and it kind of feels a bit Halloweeny. I guess it's just a basic chevron type pattern, really, but it's going to be a nice shawl in a shape I haven't used before. But the colors to me are very Halloweeny, so that's what we're going for. So I figured just the pop of the black fits right in with the blues and the raspberry neon pink. And then we got some yellows, and then neon green, and then a forest green, or, a darker green. Mr. Broccoli in the house. Hello, how are you today? So yeah, that's what I've been working on off and on. I did whip up the pumpkin, and I did put the shawl to the side a little bit for, I don't know. I just felt like making a pumpkin because I got the pumpkin yarn. So we've been doing pumpkins. I did show it a little bit earlier, but I see some new happy faces here. So we're talking pumpkins for Halloween, right? sparkle yarn. Even the orange has got sparkle, but I do know that this purple is really taking over and showing off the sparkles. I have more of this yarn, so yeah. Spider web also, it still, we got the Halloween um vibes going with the spider webs and the bats and whatnot, so it's all good. So yeah, I did get to show you some finished stuff. I have more finished stuff. There's always finished stuff. For those who haven't been here before, we have a snail. It's also finished. I winged it, and the sides are pretty similar, but I'm not really happy about how I joined it, but it is what it is, and it's probably a little bit rounder than it needed to be. Would have been nice to, I don't know, maybe just get a stitch in from each side in the center and get it more snug. I don't know. Dawn is making bread, so yeah, we don't want to burn the bread. It's enough that I burnt food this yesterday. It's all good. Aisha, oh, have you seen the video I won a giveaway over at Aisha's Handmade Items, and I did make a little video when I opened it, and it's here. I've talked about this. It smells so nice though. I don't know if it's like a some laundry softener or something. That's a lot different to what I'm used to. It just, yeah, I've been cuddling with this one. It's been really nice to compare also to the same type of yarn that I have, because I did do a little bit of a comparison, and I realized that my dollar store, because we have dollar stores in Sweden. Yes, I'm in Sweden. And this is my dollar store type of yarn, and everything besides the color, but like the specs are very, very similar. The only thing that I really got surprised by is that this one is actually apparently okay to, do you see that? It's okay to iron it on low temperature, and that just does not make sense to me, because this type of yarn just isn't a yarn that I would use to iron. But everything other than that, like they're made in the same country, all the, the specs are very, very similar. There's nothing different really, and they feel really similar. So I'm thinking maybe it's the same manufacturer with different labels. And I have also compared it to my Hobie yarns, because I have Hobie yarns, two different types of the Hobie yarns, and there's a more of a difference with them. Actually, this is a Hobie yarn with these little pom-poms in it, and this one, or it has sparkles. Do we see the sparkles? I know that the light is going to be better with this one, I think. Yeah, you can see that sparkle a little bit more. This one is not as soft because you can feel the sparkles. But these, just without the pom-poms, that's the feel of that yarn, and it is a bit softer. So anyone that's been curious about the Hobie yarns, and well, this is, what was it, the Just Chenille Premiere, the Hobie yarn is a bit softer. Just that's my opinion, but that's what I'm feeling. So if you're curious and you want, like, there is softer yarns, so you can always venture out and try it for yourself. Yeah, I'm Yarn Avalanche, and it's just a mess over here. Like, I'm not gonna put everything back all nice and pretty, but it's better than it was. So this is something I did with the pom-pommy type yarn. You can see the flecks and specks. That's what it looks like when you work it up. I see we have Samantha in the house. Hello, how are you? Oh, did I use? Yeah. Okay, I don't go live very often alone. We're doing scrap dolls in the Nightbot thingy, just because. Susan, hello, how are you? Yeah, it's just easier. I'm hanging out with Dawn, and we're scrap dolling it on Sundays, so we're just leaving it. You can see the sparkles in this yarn a little bit, especially in the black, or it's gray, I guess, but you can't really tell that it's there in the other colors. In the black, you do see it. So I was curious about that, if you actually see it. In the darker colors, you do. Yes. And it's soft. It's really nice and soft. So what else have I been doing? We are back to Halloween yarns and talking sparkly universe. And for those who like Halloween yarns, I'm not affiliated. I'm not, sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I wish Hobie would sponsor me because I love their yarn. And as you can see, I have a lot of it. But this is the one of the Universe Halloween limited editions available right now because they released the Halloween yarns this Friday. And that's the cakes you can see up there. Yeah, there's more sparkles. What am I doing here? I'm just, sparkling it out. And like that wasn't enough. Okay, I'm getting to it. I'm just gonna empty a little bit here. But I did this. I'm not sure if I think it's finished or not. It was kind of requested that I should try and make a crab with these googly eyes because I did the snail. And I kind of felt like this was a good color combination with the red and the blue, and it just ended up being a bit orange. So I don't know what I'm doing, but this is now a nom nom that eats fingers. It's like a little bit of a jar, something I can hide stitch markers or something in here, but it likes to eat my kids' fingers and they run from it, but it says nom 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 nom. I'm sorry, but it's just so funny and so ugly. Nom nom nom. And it's definitely not, holding a shape. So I don't know if I should starch it or if I should just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. Nom 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 nom. Yep. So that's also a thing that can happen when you try to wing something and don't have a plan. Yeah. People saying hi to each other. And I see thumbs up, so I'm seeing people are liking the nom 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 nom. A beautiful day in Paula Mulford. Hello. Welcome in. Nom 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 nom. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this off and make this into a crab. But for now, it's a funny face. Maybe I should try and make something more out of it. Give it something. Maybe more structure. But it's nom nom funny. So, yeah. We're working the way to the sparkly yarns. Okay. I'm going to leave whatever's left in here. But the sparkly yarn kind of turned into something bigger. This is also a bit flimsy. But I got myself a big, kind of a basket. But it's not sturdy in the bottom. Like the sides are a lot sturdier, but it's hard for it to hold up when my hand is kind of not really holding in anything. I was thinking about trying to make it into a bag. But when I realized that the yarn wasn't going to be enough and I didn't want to break into the new two cakes up there. I did have two cakes that I opened. I did something and I frogged it, and this is my leftovers. So this one I did hold two strands together at the same time. That's you're really seeing it with some of the colors. The dark with the light green. You see it really good compared to, you know, the colors where it's fading together nicely. So that's what the yarn looks like doubled up, and this is what it looks like just single stranded. And the sparkle is purple. And I didn't get any of the purple in this one. Only the slimy green and the dark green and the black or forest green. Yeah, none of the purple. So you can get a lot of different things going on with yarns. depending on the techniques and whatnot. So I do still have a little bit left. And then I have the two cakes that I haven't broken into yet. But we're loving the sparkles. I'm here for the sparkles today because apparently I'm on some type of sparkle roll. Sparkly pumpkins, sparkly other yarns up there. It's just I don't know what happened. It happened, and I'm just all happy about it. How can you not be happy about sparkly yarn, really? It's not it's not something that's going to make you sad, that's for sure. If you get sad by sparkle yarns, I kind of feel sorry for you. I need to hydrate. So, what's going on in the chat? I'm going to check out and see what's going on while I drink. Are we talking about that I should give this one some fake teethies? Dentures in this one. Maybe. Num 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 num. We have it's a candy that looks like fake teeth. It's like a whole set of gums with tooth. Yeah. Maybe I should see if I can find some and show you what it would look like if I gave this one teeth. I could try. Yes. That would be a fun thing. Yeah. So did Dawn get back from her bread making thing? Did she burn it? Because she did have to tend to the bread she had in the oven. Yeah, speaking of which, burning stuff, I did that the other day. We're starting to get cold nights here, so I decided to clean out my tomato plants outdoors because I don't want the frost to eat my tomatoes. And when I did that, I had a lot of green tomatoes. So I was like, okay, what can I do from green tomatoes? Never tried green tomato chutney. Found a recipe, sounded interesting. I put it on the stove. You're supposed to stir the pot every 20 minutes for about 3 hours or maybe more. It was okay for the first 2 hours, and then I kind of forgot to set the timer, and then I realized after like another hour that oh shit, I never stirred. It's totally burnt in the bottom. So no green tomato chutney. Yeah, no. Um, I guess that happens. I still have green tomatoes. I didn't use all of them, but I used all the small ones because I just felt like I can't really, when you basically just have green cherry tomatoes, they're not going to be too much fun to fry up because it's going to take a lot of time. I do prefer bigger ones. That's just easier to flip around in the pan and whatnot. Yeah, Dawn was up early for bingo, and she was hanging out with me, scrap doling it. So yeah, we kind of just need to give Dawn a break because she usually uses Mondays and Tuesdays to try and rest her voice and her eyes and whatnot. And I know that if I would ask her if she wanted to come up, she couldn't say no, and she would come and hang out. So no, Dawn is on not bed rest, but she's not allowed to hang out on stream for today because she needs to rest. Self care is important too. Yes, yes. So I did kind of prep a little bit, kind of fast, but since I have everything being moved around and I have all of this set up, there's stuff still to be set up. But there's also things in bags that's kind of easy to just pull over. So I have more things that I can show you guys today, but I'm gonna address this one because we have this one. I haven't really talked about it. It's been hanging out since I moved down here. I have showed it a little bit before, but we haven't really talked about this lately. If you've been hanging out with me for a bit, you've seen me work on it, but that was like a long time ago because this was my daughter's birthday present that she received in February. So yeah, if you've started to hang out with me after February, you might not have seen it at all. Unless you watch replays and things like that. But we have a big blanket for a 3-year-old. When I do baby blankets in this type of yarn, I usually go for 2 cakes, and that would be, let's see, 1 cake, 2 cakes. Yeah, middle of the pink is where I would end up using 2 cakes, because we're starting pink, going to the yellow, and then from the yellow to the next pink. And after that, I added 2 more cakes, which is not really that big of a difference since the rows are very long, but it's adding quite a bit to the whole of it. Is it 15 centimeters ish? So that's 30 centimeters extra. Like if you're thinking on in the big picture of it. So this is what I would say is a toddler blanket. It's 4 cakes of the yarn, and 2 cakes is good for a baby blanket, but also there is some yarn eating things with the small popcorns. I don't think shells is that much of a yarn eater, and we also have the V stitches that is opening up and making it lacy in some places. I wish I would sell more of my items. I have sold some things. I've done some commission pieces. Most of it has to do with bad self-esteem and not finding a platform that I'm comfortable with using, because I don't want to undersell my things. Like I want a fair price. I want to, actual like real pricing, hourly, whatever it takes me to make it, the cost of the material, and yeah, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of what I think about pricing, but I have been thinking about trying a Christmas market thing this year, because before I didn't feel like I had enough items that I could fill out and have like a nice setup, and now I have a lot of more items. Um, but yeah, like I've done commission pieces mostly for family. That's I'm also like not really very social. I don't honestly, my mental health has been an issue for the last 6 years. That's the time I've been crocheting, and my social life has been very limited. There's been periods during this time that I haven't stepped outside, not even like to go on my back porch, like not outside of the house for like 3 months. I'm not at that point anymore, but I am still very limited socially. That's why I ended up hanging out on YouTube, because I wanted to find people to hang out with and talk about yarn, and just share crafty stuff, get inspiration, just have someone to hang out and talk to. Um, that's what put me here in the first place. So I need to get more comfortable and stepping out of the comfort zone and actually trying to sell my stuff. But I do know that I'm probably not going to get the pricing I wish I could. But I will also, like, if and when I get to the point of trying to sell at a market, everything's going to be tagged up with a price that I think is fair, but also the actual pricing of like this took this and this amount of time, and at an hourly wage of whatever is reasonable, material cost, and all of that, this would be costing this and then probably taxes on top of that if you would buy this from a store. And if you also had like a brand name to that, put a zero on top of that price, that you just figured out. And I want to educate people, like, this is not just a, oh, my grandma can do that. Well, let your grandma go do that then. But I am not gonna miss that opportunity to be like, this is the actual price it would cost if this was actually something you'd go to a store and buy. And this is, a crafted piece that took a lot of time, effort, and sweat, blood, and tears, and all of that. Which also, thinking of it, if you're talking about woodcrafts, metalwork, there's a lot of more people that's like, oh, but that's pricey stuff. The tools is costing money and the skills, and you have to learn things. Well, yeah, we learned the skills to do this too. Our yarns and hooks are not for free. Um, so it's just, I haven't really figured out what I'm gonna do. But I do sell stuff occasionally, and most of the things I make to make me happy at this point. I'm trying new patterns, I'm trying new techniques. I am also, um, you know, trying to make some new patterns of my own. And I'm pretty crappy at putting them on paper or figuring out how I can record tutorials that I think is good enough for my own standard. Um, so I have like high, kind of a bit too high standard on my own head, I guess. And most of the time I make videos and it's either I upload it without more or less even watching them. I do record from start to finish. You get what you get. Um, but it's like if I don't get it up soon, it might not even get to where you get to see it because I just second guess myself so many times. So yeah. Yeah, oh, I hope I could do a good, I like hanging out. This platform is fun to hang out on. Um, it's just a few months since I started showing my face. A lot of people just recognize my hands from every other video. Before midsummer now, June. Was it June? I think it was June that I started showing my face. But before that, I didn't. Um, because I'm just, I think we're all kind of scared. And I wanted it to be about the yarn, not about me. I do also understand that it's easier to relate to a face than to a voice and a pair of hands. Um, Butterroll Boutique, telling your story. Well, I think we're kind of like very similar in a lot of areas. I know that there's things that's connecting all of us in different ways. We're talking about our crafts, our love for yarn, our love for patterns, colors. Some collect hooks, some collects patterns, some collects yarn, some collect all of the above, some crochet to donate, some crochet to make themselves happy, some crochets for their kids, for usable items in the household because it's too expensive to go and buy new kitchen towels or that type of thing. Some try to make money, some try to venture out. I want to be able to create patterns that I think is good enough because I would like to have a side income in a way, only basically because yarn is expensive and I would like to be able to afford more yarn. That is what kind of is the hope of maybe getting this channel monetized, that I would get enough money to actually be able to buy myself more yarn. It's not that I want to get an income in the way of, I can not work a day more in my life. I'm just going to hang out with my friends, talk yarn, and get paid while doing it, and it's going to be enough. Not what I'm planning, but it would be nice to have a hobby that would at least go like even. If I would start actually selling my items, I might get more than even, but I'm not there. My confidence is totally out the window. And for those who doesn't know, I know that I don't often talk about it, but 6 years ago, I was driving myself to work and my car caught on fire in the middle of the road. So I had to throw myself out of a burning vehicle, which is not something that I, it's not good for anyone to do that. I didn't get hurt um, physically, but my mental state just, yeah, I haven't really totally recovered from that. I do have issues with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. That's my main issues. But there's other things also that's been messing with my head, so that's not helping in any way, shape, or form. Hello, Samantha. How are you? Yeah, the chair cover is just my daughter's blanket. I kind of kidnapped it so that I could have something different. I had another blanket that I was showing off for a bit, and yeah, I've been switching out a little bit. So, hello, Sprue. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back for those of you that already saw. This was Sprue's request. It's I guess not finished. It's inspired what you asked, Sprue, to make a crab of googly eyes, and I'm not really happy about what it looks like. It's not a crab. It's as inspiration, and it could be good as it is, but yeah, I think you're gonna be happy because we got a little nom 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 nom. It eats kids' fingers. Nom 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 nom. Like a little jar or something that I could put stitch markers or something in, but preferably the kids' fingers because they really laugh and giggle, and the excitement and scary laughs when you go nom 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 nom. Yeah, so that's what happened when Sprue asked me to make a crab out of with googly eyes. It doesn't have any arms or legs or anything, but it just I think it might be enough like this. I don't know. It's funny though. Who don't like googly eyes? And it does fit. I won a giveaway over at Spruce, and he sent me some camel balls. Nom 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 nom. Yep, it lives in there now. We got camel balls in the crab's mouth. Yeah, okay, back to crochet. I'm sidetracking too easy here. Now I'm gonna drink some. So yeah, you should too. Coca-Cola is awesome. Um, I'm hoping you're happy about the crab related googly eye box. I'm just gonna reach over and get the first thing I can get. And this is something that's being used and abused more or less daily. We got a dress. We got this pattern is called Abigail Fairy Dress, and I think it's a pretty popular pattern. I used two of the cakes over here. The first one I used was a dahlia, and the second one is a sultan shadow, just like that one. It's actually, is it the same color? Yes, it's the same color as this one, or the same colorway that I added. So I did start with this lavender, two different purples. There's some blues in here, and then it's this darker teal color. But when I was finished at that point, it felt like the dress was too short. And knowing now what I didn't know then, I could have just blocked it to get it to, a little bit bigger. But instead of doing that, I added a whole second cake because I think the colors work pretty good together. You can't really tell that well, you can tell that there's a difference in the colors, but then again, there's a lot of things going on in it anyway. So it's not, too big of a difference. It totally works in my eyes. So I added this to it, and I am definitely going to be, able to have her wear this for a long time. Um, because when it's starting to get small or something, I can just block it a bit, stretch it extra, and it will fit for many years more to come. It is actually a little bit wide still at the neckline. She is 3.5, and I think this is probably more for like a 4, maybe 5-year-old. This part here, but also she's been pulling on it, so I see that there's definitely room in here to grow in any way, shape, or form, which I really like because I did put a lot of hours into making this, and she loves putting it on and spin because you can imagine how much it just twirls out. I did get the full amount of these points. That's why this part here, it's a full cake that it took me to make this one. But it's a long way to go all the way around when you have all these points. But it twirls so beautifully. It does. So yeah, this cake was actually one of the first cakes I did get. It's a dahlia because of the colors. I really fell in love with the colors of the purples and the teals. These are some of my favorite colors, if not my favorite colors. Yeah, that's purples and greens, for some reason it does just work out really good in my head. Yeah. Oh, and I don't know how long I'm going to hang out here. Apparently time flies and we've been here for, you know, almost an hour already. And I feel like I'm not even getting started. So if you feel like you have other obligations to hang out on other people's channels, like don't feel like you're leaving me behind. You can always watch the replay or come and hang out another day. You know, don't be feeling bad if you feel like I know other people are live, they have schedules. I'm just popping in here, I'm hanging out, and I love to hang out with anyone who wants to hang out. Uh, Butterroll Boutique, one word, the scrap dolls. So I'm just jumping to the next thing that's close by and talking about a shawl. Yes, we got sparkles. Again, the theme for today is sparkles. Not everything's going to be sparkly, but we're this is sparkly. We got purple and gray and white and purple sparkles in this one. And this is 2 of these types of cakes. That's what you need to get a shawl at this size. And this is actually one of the shawls that I've been using the most. Walking out the door, I like to just put it like this. And for security, I take the ends and then I tie them underneath here. But I would just like tie them like this, sometimes a double. But when I tie it underneath here, it's just stick in there. I go outside, it's all cute. And this is definitely, more fun than any type of scarf that you could buy in a store. And it's really soft. Yes. Oh, I always sparkle. Thank you, Sprue. Yeah, I did put the sparkle on here today because I don't know. I guess it's just sparkle day today. Oh, my color choices, it's actually kind of fun. Some of these things are mystery bag items. I didn't pick them. Yes, that's also, a way to get more yarn for your money. Buying mystery bags, you don't get to pick the colors. You pretty much know what you're gonna get in, the type of yarn. These were cotton cakes. I knew I was gonna get cotton cakes, and they were cheaper. Sometimes you can get, a good deal like that. I think mill ends is one way to go as well. That's also cheaper things. Mystery, you never know what you're gonna get. I'm actually okay. I'm gonna put the smaller items away for a bit because I did actually want to show something that no one really has seen. I did make one video where I had it kinda in the video. I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to show this off because it's humongous. I'm If you guys have been hanging out with Sandrine, you know she does mosaic blanket and it's, awesome and big and whatnot. This is not the same size as hers, but it is big and I don't know how to show it. And also, it's not finished, but it is kind of like the beginning of my crochet journey and a bit of, my scraptastic crocheter name. Um, when I started crocheting, I was pregnant. I didn't really feel like I could afford yarn because, when you're having a baby, you need to buy stuff and it's expensive. And I was just, yeah, I didn't prioritize myself, but I also got other people's leftovers. I got a lot of scrap yarns, hand-me-downs, call it what you want. Some stuff was like used frog rolled up in balls. There was tangly messes. It took me days to untangle. Some was just too bad to untangle and just got thrown out. So I do have some blankets that I started, and I right now I can tell you I'm probably never going to finish this, for the reason that I've realized that I am allergic to certain fibers. I have high sensitivity to animal fibers. Wool, I do react to. I did take some allergy meds earlier because I've been, fiddling with my leftover yarns and trying to sort stuff. And touching this blanket, it's mixed fibers. There is wool yarn in this. So just by touching it, even though I did take some meds, I'm feeling the itch, okay? So this is probably not going to be more worked than it is right now. But I'm not going to be able to show it all. This is leftovers. This is scraps. And this is started to turn into a blanket. It's definitely, blanket size. I can use this as is. It's all good size-wise. And I can't tell what I'm showing you guys. I hope you get to see something pretty. But yeah, we got so many different colors, different types of patterns in here. I did follow mosaic patterns. Tina, the mosaic queen from Iceland, she made a blanket called the Havana, and that's the patterns I've been using for this one. So this is my version of the Tina Havana in scraps of acrylics, cottons, wools, and I'm trying to, like, there is some method to the madness in how I combine the colors, but I did not really buy a lot of yarns. I have bought some because I didn't have a lot of colors. I know I did buy this green color because it was available at the store, and I thought, oh, I don't have that type of color really. So it's just some colors I bought, some colors were leftovers, some are doubled up yarns. Yeah, over here I can tell this yellow is a doubled up because it was really thin. The only thing that's through and through, I've used a 4mm crochet hook. But this is DK yarns. There's worsted yarns. There's yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm a lot of, picking my nose and whatnot, but the fibers, it's itching me. And I know it's stupid to probably put my hands in my face because there's wool fibers all over the place now. So I'm probably just making the stuff worse over here. Um, yeah, I should just put this like on a flat surface and take a big picture and put on my community tab. Why I haven't done that, I don't know. Because I felt like it was still a work in progress. but realizing now, fiddling with it, it's never gonna finish because it's just itching me touching it like this. I'm not gonna sit hours at a time on the couch underneath this and think that it's gonna be fine because it's not. No. It's kind of making me a bit sad that I'm realizing that I'm not gonna be able to finish it, but what can I do? Really, what can I do? Well, I have so many items. There's gotta be a lot of community tab posts if I'm gonna put everything up there. I have posted some pictures on my Instagram. I don't have. I'm really crappy at putting pictures up, and I I know that there's stuff I could get better at doing, taking pictures, posting in on my socials, whatnot. Um, yeah, it definitely has wool in it. Like I can tell. Some fibers I do know, like this yellow. This is wool. 100%. Yeah, there's this hot pink is wool yarn. I think also this darker brownish gray is wool yarn. Here's more of the yellow. This popping neon green is wool. There's some white wool. Uh, this darker brown red is wool. Some of the grays here are wool. My guess is sheep's wool, but yeah. Yeah, more of this green wool. Yeah, there's acrylic, there's wool, there's so I cannot tell you how much time I've spent on this one. I know that a row is about 30 minutes. That's something I do know. Also depending a little bit on the pattern, and also I started working on this when I had, could my daughter have been like 2, 3, 4 months? So at the time I started doing this, I was breastfeeding and taking care of a baby, which means you don't get to sit down and make a full row at a time. You have to stop, do stuff. I can't tell you how long it actually has taken me. And some of these patterns did take me a little bit to figure out because of there's transitions between the patterns, and actually learning to read patterns was also something I did while I did this. Um, well, one thing that is really sad, not just adding to the fact that would like to have fair prices on my things. I'm in Sweden, which also, includes shipping if I have to ship it overseas. I so wish stuff would be easier than it is, but it's just a part of life, right? Um, and definitely not making blankets like this for left, right, and center. More reasonable maybe to get a shawl. They don't cost as much to ship because they're not as heavy. For that reason. So I'm gonna continue talking about wool, but this is a wool I've actually been able to handle so far. So good. Merino superwash. I made this one for my grandmother, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to deliver it to her soon. This one is gonna move out at the same time as the laptop table, I think, because they live in the same town where the laptop table is gonna move to, and also this one. So virus shawl in 8 balls of merino in different colors, from black, navy blue, 2 other blues, and a baby blue, purples, and pink. And I realized that the pink was not enough to make a full round of the shells. So we did a little bit of a border that is different, but was enough for the amount of yarn. Yeah. It's really soft, and it's actually a wool fiber that I've so far been able to handle a little bit. So I've showed that one quite a bit. I think a lot of people have seen it if you've been here recently. Hello, Jesse. I am just showing stuff that I've made, really, because I've been crocheting for quite some time. I've had the channel for almost 2 years. I realized in November it's 2 years since I uploaded my first video, but I haven't really taken my YouTube serious in any way, shape, or form. I wanted to find people to talk yarn and crochet with, really, and that's what I found. So I'm I'm happy with what my channel has become, but there's a little bit, a little thing in the back of my head that's like it would be nice to get monetized and have some type of revenue from YouTube so that I can buy more yarn. I just would like a hobby that could sustain itself a bit since I'm not good at promoting myself. I'm not good at selling my stuff. Yes, this is a virus shawl, Susan. Hello, David. How are you? Um, yeah, this is virus with just a made up border by myself. But yeah, like I'm just showing left, right, and center stuff that some things have been on my channel before, some things has not. More for the fact that I lack self-esteem. I don't feel like I am the stuff I do is good enough. And I know people are probably going to be like, we don't agree. Your stuff is awesome. Just take a look at the blanket behind me. Um, Most of the times I'm just following patterns. This is not my pattern. I picked the colors. It was a yarn cake that changed colors by itself. I didn't really have to do that much thinking, but it's I don't know. I'm not really I haven't really had a lot of time and effort and or like effort, like time and opportunity to sit down and record. I haven't had a setup that I can record where I'm sitting. My desk is very shallow here. I don't have a lot of space, so bigger items. I have been sitting on other tables, moving lights, moving cameras, or camera like my phone. That's my main record device. It has to be charged. I have to move things around, and I need to have a silent house, which with two kids, it's not going to happen very often. So, and also like I have to not be too tired. I have to feel like I have something to show and be in the right mood to sit down and record and when I usually have had the time to sit down and relax, it's been like, oh, finally I get the time to sit and just crochet. Recording hasn't been my number one thing to do. And now when I realize I can do lives, I can sit and crochet and I can interact with people at the same time, it just makes more sense because it doesn't take away time from like my crochet time. And now Sprue is getting all he wants to see more. I'm gonna grab something. It's further down. We're going down, down, down. Um, okay, I can show something. I tested a pattern not really long ago. Winter Nightmare uh, is releasing this. I don't know if it's released yet, but I made a shawl testing the pattern for them. And this is a one cake of twister cactus flower. So this is one of these types of cakes. We got pinks, we got some oranges, we got some yellows, and we got some green. So a shawl like this, um, yeah, I like making these. I love making them. And this was really inspirational because it's a different type of style than what I'd normally go for. I like the easy repeats where I don't have to, think too much of reading patterns. I like the challenge of reading patterns, but repeaters patterns are like this one, this section. Well, you can see the ridge here and the ridge there. Everything in between is just repeated and repeated and repeated. I like that. Um, but it's also nice with a challenge like this occasionally where you have to do something differently. And this did actually inspire me. So after pattern testing this, or kind of midway pattern testing this, I ended up creating a creation of my own with a little bit of inspiration, especially about this part here. And I'm gonna get that up next. But it's yeah, it's definitely a fun pattern. This is a texture and a stitch combination I'd never used before, and I loved making it. And it really looks a bit different. But there's a lot of back posts and front posts for those who know who know. It it takes a little bit of time to do them, and I needed a break from back post and front post for a bit after making that one, that's for sure. Um yeah, okay, Sprue, talking about money and pricing and shawls. If I would to sell a shawl like this one, I'm not saying this particular pattern, but a shawl made from this yarn, a little bit depending on pattern, like if it's a lot of details, if it's a fast, easy, really simple thing, I would not sell a shawl in my own head for less than yeah, these ones are the bigger cakes. That's the ones I was thinking about, about 120 euros starting point, because of the time and the cost of materials and stuff like that. So yeah, around that pricing is, and that's still selling myself cheap, because if you would look at the amount of time it takes, it's not fair pricing really. Um, but when I did that one, as I said, this one has a story, and the story is kind of no, don't be sorry. You could, you have no idea how long stuff takes, and I know your models take a lot longer. Don't be sorry. But that's also a thing, people don't know value of things. It's like, oh, my grandma can do this. It's, you know, it's it frustrates me. But yeah, back to the shawl that I got inspired. You will see the same type of pattern here. Um, when I was kind of midway with the pattern testing of the shawl for winter, I had a little trip to do. I took the car to the train to the subway. No, the train to the commuter train. Yeah, the train to this metro thing, and then subway. Yeah, train to the train, really. And then I had to do the whole trip back. But while I was doing that, I wanted something easy to do. And, being on train tracks, this kind of reminded me of train track. So I winged this. And my plan is to maybe get a pattern out in some way, shape, or form if I'm making a tutorial as like a crochet along, maybe in parts, or if I'm gonna get it down on a piece of paper and post it up on my Ravelry where I already have one pattern. I don't know. But it's a girl can dream, a girl can hope. It just takes away from my crochet time if I'm writing patterns. And I don't know how I could record making this in a good way that could be easily shared with you guys, getting all the information needed and not really edit. So maybe a couple of rows at a time, crochet along style for, in a playlist, maybe releasing everything at once. I don't know. But maybe that's a way to do it. But we got a lot of the train tracks since I did go on a lot of train rides that day. And the train tracks are like close together and spread apart. It's a nice lacy shawl that works for summer nights, I'd say. Yes, Brew, the wood kit, I don't think hanging out doing that with Connie is gonna happen anytime soon because I kind of ended up starting streaming myself on Sundays for a bit with Dawn because that's the only time that worked good for both of us and that my family could handle being quiet or be in bed. So yeah, Sundays is unfortunately not a good day. I did win a wood kit, model kit, from Sprue. It's a bit different to what I do with all the crocheting, but I like to hang out with different people and talk about different crafts. So I got myself a motorcycle in a wood kit, and it's a challenge. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but I'm definitely gonna try. There's like a lot of small pieces. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. I'm gonna actually put it down here. It's easier to grab it and not have stuff fall on my head if I put it there. Yeah. Yeah, so what would you prefer if you're following a tutorial for a shawl? Crochet along style? Would it be to have the like a video a week, a video every few days? Um, I don't know how I don't know what to do. Well, we'll see. I'll try and figure something out. Um yeah, art class exhibitions. It just, there's probably a lot of people that sell stuff for a lot cheaper than you'd think they're worth, but also at the same time, nothing is worth more than what people are actually willing to pay for it. And if people are not educated to what a reasonable value would be for certain items, it's there's there's a lot of mm, education still needed out there. That's yeah. My grandma can do that. Well, let your grandma do it for cheaper if she can. Yeah, I'm not just I'm doing this because it makes me feel better. This is my therapy. This is my happy place. This is what I want to do whenever I can. If I could make a living out of it, it would be awesome. I don't see that happening anytime soon. But if I would get to the point where I get monetized and, you know, can actually do something with this channel, I'm happy. At the same time, I can't really put the pressure on myself to, because I've been working this channel back and forth, and at certain times there's just been um, that I didn't feel that it was fun to make videos, and I just kind of didn't for a bit. And then I picked up and did a few videos. It's been like off and on, and I know that if I can keep the momentum, it's all good. But at some point, I might fall off, and it's hard to get back up on the horse again, you know? Oh, where am I going to put everything? Why did I just decide to get everything out, but not have a plan for where to put the stuff? That wasn't so smart. Because I wanted to dig down into here and get something. What am I going to get? What's my next item to show? Oh, and I don't have. Where is that? Okay. Um, I kind of want to get something else. Why did I not take the opportunity here? I'm gonna, yeah, you get to hear me make noises. You don't see me, but I want to make this as, you know, fun as possible and show you the stuff I really loved making. So that's what we're gonna do. We are going to get the fun, pretty, extra stuff. That means getting a different box. That was harder to get. You still get to see all the pretty yarn I had behind me. And you get to see some of this that you usually don't get to see. So yes, okay, now I'm here and I am ready to show you stuff for hours. Honestly, I could. Because now I got the, got the shawls out. My pretty ones. Okay, how about a Halloween color limited edition that seemed to be not available this year because this is just yeah, it's not available this year, I think. I kind of get boho vibes from this, the colors, and that's why I added the fringe. I still haven't trimmed it. I haven't blocked it. I figured I'd trim the fringe when I blocked it. It didn't happen yet, so that's just what it is. But yeah, I kind of am a bit sad that this color is not available in the Halloween colors this year. I was really scared when I saw this color, and I only got it to kind of press my own limits and get colors that I wasn't comfortable with. But seeing it now, it is a lot prettier than I expected from it. So yes. And there's granny stitches, there's some double crochets, there's some chainy parts. I just found a random Pinterest pattern and I followed it, and that's what I ended up with. What's next? A baby blanket? How about a baby blanket? I have barely showed this one. If I have, I don't remember actually. I think it's called Anna's Tale, and it's actually in the same colors as the designer made it. Kind of. To this point, it's the same colors the designer designed this with this color way. I used 2 cakes of the same going from the inside out and then the outside in, and the designer used the same cake, but then she had the solid of this blue and did this part in a solid blue. Just because it's just I had 2 of this cake. No, I actually had 3. And that's why I did this way, because I couldn't get the solid one. But I think it looked good anyway, right? I don't know if or what, when, or what baby's gonna get this one, because I just made it and I didn't have any babies to think about when I made it. But I figured some baby blankets would be a nice thing to try, and there's like so many different types of stitches. There was so much things I learned from here with the bobble stitches and puff stitches and combinations. I'm thinking it's probably gonna look better when I block it because this part here definitely could have done um tighter stitches. So a smaller hook size would have probably been good for especially this outer part here. It kind of feels like it's a little bit not as neat, but maybe it would look good if I block it. But it definitely a good way to learn new stitches, new techniques, because there's a lot of things going on in this one. And I do know that the same designer has a baby blanket design with this part being like the whole blanket. And it kind of looks a little bit like a extra pointy leaf at the end here with these. It's front post that makes this pattern, which I like, but I love how this looks. I don't like making the puff stitches, but I love how it looks. I'm going to show you a little bit more of a close-up. So yeah, I did that one. Colorway, well, it was a sheepy's whirl, melted macaroon, something like that. And I did say I had 3 of that yarn, and I used 1.5 for this blanket, so I left with green being the last color. So I actually did a simple star blanket. It's star shaped with the last going from the green and then to here's the cream where that was the center of the other one and out to the blues. And as you can tell, I did not have a clue of how far that yarn was going to take me. So I yarn chickened. How many rounds did I make a border? Because I thought I was going to run out of yarn. I'm going to run out of yarn. And I did a short on that. I'm going to run out of yarn. I didn't for quite some time. There's a long way to go around this one. And I was a chicken. Yes, definitely. But it's really nice and soft. And I have no clue what I'm going to do with this one. I probably should block it so it actually does stay more of a star shape. Because the single crochets up here are really tightening it up. So I need to do something about that, I think. But it's really drapey, which is nice with these types of thin yarns to get nice and drapey fabrics. I just am I the only one that thinks anything but square and rectangle blankets is weird? Stars and squares, I don't know how to use them. How am I supposed to wrap in something that has all these points? I don't know. Um, how should I use it? I don't know. This is baby blanket size anyway, so it's not something that's big enough for me per se, but it's still gonna be a good size. That like it's a pretty big blanket, that one, compared to the other one. So I don't see a problem in using it. I just don't know, like, how would you cuddle up in a blanket that's round or star shaped or triangular blankets? I've seen that too. I don't know. How would you do? And then we have another shawl. And this is a semicircle or half circle in pretty, pretty colors. We got some teals and whites and darker, more like navy blue type of teal. And this shawl, I made this one uh, quite a bit ago. And then I found out that there was going to be a baby in the family, like a relative having a baby. And I was like, I love the color. I found the pattern. I waited and waited and waited to get the same color so I could make a baby blanket out of it. I started making a baby blanket. I got 2 cakes. One is still there. The other one is still not finished. The baby is born. The baby blanket's not finished. But I thought I was gonna, get the shawl for the mom and the baby blanket for the baby. Is it in here? Yes. I can get whatever I have made so far and show you that. Because that baby blanket so far is looking like this. This is the 4th of it because I folded it up. But it is really pretty. And it's not the same pattern as this one, but it is by the same designer. So the style is not very different in, intricate patterns and all of that. But the plan was to make the first cake from the inside out and then to take the other cake and go from the outside in. So basically it would be uh, ending in the white, just like it's starting with the white over here. Maybe I'll finish this one sometime soon, but I'm not stressing it because I'm doing what makes me happy. And that one didn't make me happy for a bit, or other things made me happy and other things just got my attention. So I put the attention where I felt I should. But I like that this has a different shape than all the other patterns. As you can see from the few shawls I've showed you, most of my shawls are just triangular shawls. Yes, cake is this type of shape of the balls of wool, I guess. Well, I don't really have any wool because wool is sheep's wool, and when we're talking about cottons and acrylic yarns, we don't talk about wool. We talk about just yarn. So yeah, this is cakes. They are not really big, but they're colorful. So this is a cake. It's the shape that the yarn is caked up like this. You can see the bottom and the top. It's not a ball per se. And while I have those out, and also like these ones are just the same. They're flat and you get to see all the colors that's in here. We got the whites, we got the different shades. So you see all of them, and if it would have been balled up, you would only see the outside like this and not know what's going on in the inside. So it's basically a way to form the yarn. These, when it's shaped like this, they're called skeins, which is a weird name. Yep, skeins of yarn. Skeins, cakes, we got donuts. Donuts is also a shape. I don't think I have any donuts available close by. My donuts are over there, and they're actually wool, so we're staying away from the donuts for today. How about, I know someone is going to be happy, some more shiny stuff. This is shiny, not sparkly, but this is wool, unfortunately. So I'm not going to cuddle with this too much. But this is the Metallico yarn. And yes, Hobie is just all over the place. Speaking of Hobie, I just got a message on Facebook. Is Hobie telling me that they're gonna do something? Yeah, they're doing some live shopping with Gia tomorrow. I wish they could just tell me that they were gonna, buy me yarn, sponsor me. Please, Hobie, do that. Because I love your yarn. Do you see the sheen on this? Do you see how it looks? No wonder it's called Metallico. Tahitian green and pearly white is the color I have here. Quano man is hungry. I'm talking about cakes and donuts. Yeah, well, cakes and donuts, and that yarn is called cookie. To add to your, it does say cookie because it's cakes. So they decided to name them cookie. Yeah. I think this pattern is called Oak of Life. And I got this yarn, got it. I got to buy this yarn as a part of my own birthday present because when I asked for things for my birthday, I wanted yarn. And then I was like, oh, well, what yarn do you want? I was like, I don't know yet. Well, okay. Send you some money and you buy yarn. And I got Metallico. And that's before I realized I was sensitive to wool, and I did kind of feel it when I was working on this one, but I didn't realize it at the time that there's wool in this, which is sad because I really love how it looks. I just wish I would wear it, but for reasons pretty damn obvious why I'm not wearing it. I don't know what to do with it, but it's so pretty. And like look at the edges. This pattern was created like this in this type of yarn, just different colors. And so I found the pattern, I saw it, I loved it, I ordered yarn accordingly to what the pattern maker said in just colors I liked better. But puff stitches, still not my favorite. It didn't make it better doing this. Because making puff stitches, it just feels like you need to make sure that they're even. And I think that I got them pretty even, but when you're working on it, you're like second guessing yourself. It's like, are they consistently somewhat decent size? And it's puff stitches and chains. It's pretty obvious where things are going on. So yeah, I'm not gonna cuddle up with that one too much more now. We're moving that to the side. How about chocolate? To add to Koala Man's hunger and talking about cookies. This is colors that reminds me of chocolate, so I call it my chocolate shawl. I think the color is actually chocolate rose, but it's different shades of browns. And it just makes me think of milk chocolate and darker chocolates. And this is a pattern I have done multiple times in different colors, but I did find it on Pinterest. It was a Pinterest diagram that I followed. And I don't remember all of the colors I've done in this pattern, but most of the time I like the colors I have. I buy one of each most of the time. I do have some colors that I have like multiple cakes of the same color. Like I have 3 of this tangerine type of color, but that was because I got that in a mystery bag and I didn't get to pick the colors. So I got a lot of colors, and you know, when you do mystery bags, you get what you get. Most of the time with all of them, I did, that one I have 2 of. Um, and when making baby blankets, I order in 2 because I want baby blankets to be a decent size. But most of them, I just have one of each because I want all the colors. And if I buy multiple of the same color, that will limit me to how many color variations I will have. So most of the things, it's just one of a kind. And some I will never be able to get the colors again. Limited edition colors, discontinued colors, colors I don't know what they are. We got just regular granny stitch in shades of blue. I think this color is still available. So I could make another one of these ones if I wanted to, but I'm not the biggest fan of granny stitches, and I do them occasionally, but I don't think a shawl in granny stitches is the most fun thing to do. There's so many other shawl patterns. But I made this to be more of a manly shawl, not, too much details. This is something maybe that would go for a more of a person that wants to, be more neutral or maybe more manly, not as girly as it would be with all the things going on. Hello, Nancy. How are you? Yeah. Yeah. Blame me for the, munchies. It's all good. We're going for more colors. How about some tealy, well, aqua, lavender, purple. There's some grays and some blues. This is I think it would be a novelty yarn. It's linen, cotton, and something I don't remember what it was. Something I I don't know if I'd heard it before then and ever again after. But the cake wasn't really big, and this shawl is actually kind of small, but I had to do with the amount of yarn I had. So making it a very lacy shawl made the yarn go a bit further. So if you have small balls of yarn, well, I wouldn't say small. This was probably like 400 meters of DK weight yarn, but it was expensive yarn. Like I did get this half off, um, but still, it was um, yeah, it was just I wanted to make it last, so this is what I ended up doing. Yeah. But I'm really loving the fact that I managed to actually make something out of this yarn because I wasn't sure of what I was going to do with it. I did use it. Well, I tried to make something out of it and then I realized it's not what it wanted to become. So I frogged it and I started something different and then I frogged that. But with yarns that is this pretty, it might take a time to figure out what they want to become, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it is what it is, but it's all good. It's really soft though. Not the softest, because it is linen in it. So let's go for how about more Halloweeny stuff? We've been talking about Halloweeny stuff, so we're going Halloweeny, and this is pretty Halloweeny if you ask me, with oranges and grays and blacks in a virus shawl. And if I remember correctly, this was a Halloween limited edition. Maybe not. Or I don't remember. Or was this a lucky bag? I'm just checking to see if I can find it because why not? Or was this maybe Could be Black Friday too. I honestly don't know. Either way, to me, it feels Halloween. And with the virus, I know some people say that it looks like owl eyes and wings, and I do see that. I did not see that at first, but now I do, and it's kind of funny that it looks like owls like that. Yeah. I have done quite a few of the well, you go rest, Susan. You do that. Yeah, the viruses. I have done quite a few of them. But this is a colorful one. This is a colorful one. I'm loving the colors of this one. Don't you just get happy about all of these rainbowy colors? Do you see all the colors in this one? Also, a random Pinterest pattern that I didn't know what to expect, but definitely really pretty. There's a different type of shell than the chocolate one. This is more of a dense type of shell pattern. And this is Sultan Deluxe yarn. Most of the other ones are Sultan Dahlias, and this is a Sultan Deluxe. So these cakes are actually a little bit bigger. This is Sultan Deluxe glitter, Twister, that's cotton acrylic. Same with the ones here, cotton acrylic, and those are only cotton but smaller ones. So there's a lot of different ones, and I'll definitely geek out more about that if people are interested. That's often what I do on my channel. I geek out and I talk about yarn. Uh, okay. I'm getting the one that kind of probably means more to me than a lot of these shawls. I'm just going to drink a little bit, hydrate you guys too, and I'll tell you why next shawl is important to me. So, um, a year and a half ago, my brother-in-law decided that his days were done, and for his funeral, um, I wanted to have something special. He didn't want us to be all black on his funeral, so we were all dressing out in cheerful colors somewhat. So I made this one because I had a blue dress with flowers. And I figured that this color cake that I had was what worked best. So it is an asymmetrical shawl with so many popcorns. It took some time to make this one. I'm definitely happy with how it turned out, and this is never gonna, move out of here. This is a keeper because it means too much. So uh, I would say most of the stuff I've showed you is stuff I would be willing to part from. This, however, is not one of the things I will part from for the reason. Oh, Granny D Raid. Hello, people. How are you? You've been hanging out over there. I'm happy to see you all. Squirrel Raid. Denise. Freehandly Maid. Aw. Yeah, I'm hoping you had a fun time partying with Granny D, because today, you know, no one ever knows what happens. Rock steady. I'm just sharing stuff that I've made for Laura Block Ministries. A lot of names that I don't think I've seen over here before, and some names that's actually new to me Um, yeah, very new to me. Happy to see you guys. And yeah, I like to talk about crochet and geek out. And now I'm just showing stuff. I'm showing shawls. I've been showing basically items that I recently finished. Um, and quite a lot of them. I am having just a big. I've got yarn piles here. Now I'm like kind of want to show you guys everything again, but you will have to go and check out the replay if you want to see all of it. But I'm jumping into the next one, and I'm continuing down the Halloweeny part and going for skulls. How about Lost Soul Shawl in a Sultan Shadow Cake that started in the gray and went up to the black? I did block this one and I stretched it quite much to get it as big and lacy and whatnot as I could because I like that. I like to pull some of my things when I block them just to get the most of the definition. I like to use smaller hooks to get somewhat of a tighter stitch on these types of patterns. And then I stretch them out so you really get to see them. Cynthia, hello. Yarn Barf, Newfie Grandma Creates. Joe Speakman, hello everyone. I'm just happy to see more people here. Just for you guys, Nana Michelle, I did hang out with Dawn yesterday. We do Sunday hangouts and scrap yarn or scrap dolls is our thing. Now I'm getting all. I broke records yesterday going live because we do simulcast. So some people hang out on her channel, some people hang out on my channel. But yesterday we broke records on how many people was on my side at one time. Well, the peak of my stream. And we broke it now with the Granny D raid. I have a new record. Just a Granny D raid. And Granny D's in the house as well. Hello. Uh, what happens when you go live on? Well, it was Monday. Now it's 4 past midnight. It's Tuesday morning for me, and I just yeah, we're thanking Granny D for breaking records here with me, and everyone else too. Yeah, a lot of records to break. I wouldn't say I'm a new channel because that would be not the truth. My channel is almost 2 years old, but I haven't been doing lives very long. I haven't showed my face for a very long time. I just started doing that this summer because I'm in Sweden. So it's past midnight, and I managed to go live now because the family decided to sleep early, and I don't like to do lives when the family is sitting all around me, forced to be quiet. We do have an agreement that I get to do live streams on Sundays, um, and they are quiet, but I can't ask that of them very often. So one day a week is all good. So we got people from the UK, and I am Soila's here. I'm just I'm happy. I'm happy. New records are being broken or made. It's all good. I know that my channel I have room to grow. That's for sure. And as okay, I'm not gonna show everything, but I was showing some stuff off today. I'm just gonna show you piles now. I've showed all of this, and some of them have never been on stream before. Finished objects. We've got this pile here. Like most of this is just shawls. You see the colors, you see the you can't probably see even half of it. Um, but this is what I've been talking about, and I'm so not good at showing stuff off because I always think that I'm not good enough. And I do know that there's other people out there that feels the same. So yeah, we got okay. Just because this never really had a star time on my channel, I'm gonna show this baby blanket again because so while I'm talking now, I'm gonna show this one off on my arm a little bit like this. So um maybe like this. So yeah, I this is one of the first baby blankets I ever made, and it challenged me with a lot of new stitches. The one behind me is what I did for my daughter's third birthday, and this one is actually made out of 4 cakes, and this is just about 1.5, 2 cakes. Michelle, you found me. You're welcome. I didn't know I was hiding, but I'm happy you found me. Crochet by night, like yeah, I'm just happy. We're breaking records here. And for those who doesn't know me, I'm Amanda. I'm in Sweden. I'm a mom that has a pretty busy mom life. I love yarn. I love crochet. I'm in Sweden, so it's not very easy for me to get all the fun yarns you guys have. But Hobie is easy available to me, and I don't have to pay extra for shipping and taxes and duty, customs fees, and whatnot. So I do know that a lot of the stuff I talk about is Hobie yarns. I wish they would sponsor me. I'm not affiliated or anything like that. I wish they would, help me out because their stuff is amazing. But it's also the stuff that's actually cheap for me to get. You might think I'm crazy because this is some of the yarns that's probably expensive in your eyes. But since I don't really have that much things available to me, I live in a small city. We have not even a yarn store in my town. I have done some shorts where I show some of the yarn that I is available in my stores. But yeah, if I want yarn, I have to order it, and Hobie is where I go to get yarn because to me this is actually the cheap stuff. And that is, you know, I know some people are like, yeah, no, you're only going for the expensive yarn. We can't hang out with you. I'm sorry, but this is the stuff in my stores are sometimes even more expensive. So, um, you don't have a yarn store, so you made your own online yarn store. Yeah, I think I've seen that one. Crochet Rocks. Could that be something that I'm kind of feeling like I know that, but am I wrong? I don't know. Um, yes, if you want to know about the Hobie yarns, please come ask me. I have yarns to show. I have things to tell. I know that there's a lot of people that has bought Hobie yarns and they were disappointed because didn't know what to expect. See, Yarn Barf think this is the expensive stuff, and I'm totally getting that. To me, it's the cheap stuff. So you can imagine what I have else to pick from. Yeah, yeah. There's some cheap yarn in stores like dollar store. We do have dollar store in Sweden, and they have very limited selection. Um, yeah, there's if I can help talk about the Hobie yarns, I'm gladly here to answer any questions you might have. Just behind me, I have one, two, three, four. There's 5 different types of yarn in this one. We got 3 different ones in this one. There's actually 2 different types in this one. A plenty of different the 8/4 cottons. Cookies available on Hobie. We got the mega balls. Some of these are Hobie yarns, some are dollar store yarns. And actually, I did win a giveaway from Aisha's Handmade Items. And I got my hands on my first US yarn the other day when I opened this one. I got me some Just Chenille, and you guys are probably like, oh, we have that. Seen it, been there, done that. And to me, this is just like, I finally get something you guys have. I've been seeing it on your guys' channels, and Finally, I got some. And this smells really good. I don't know if this is what the yarn actually would smell like, or if it's something Aisha had, like a laundry detergent or anything like that. I don't know if yeah, I don't know. Um, $99 to get the free shipping, and the bag's torn up, and I'm totally understanding that you are um that you have issues with the Hobie shipping. um that's not, I know Hobie could box it up and the shipping would be more expensive, and there's things, like that. um for me in Sweden, Denmark is like the next country over. I could literally take a train and be in a Hobie store in like less than 8 hours. I could be in their store from where I'm at. Um, and the free shipping limit is lower because of the distance in EU, um, all of that type of thing. So I did put an order in Friday. I did receive a message that it was packed and ready to be shipped. They're waiting for the postman. I got that letter today. If the postman picks it up from the warehouse tomorrow, the yarn will probably most likely be in my hands on Wednesday. That's how far, like that's how easy the like for me to order from Hobby is. I've had times where I placed an order in a morning, or like, early morning, midnight, sometime, and I got the email by lunch that, oh, it's packed, it's ready. It got picked up the same day by the postal service, and I had it next day to go pick up. um Something that is really good to know if you are not used to the Hobie yarns, or never, you don't dare to try the Hobie yarns because of you haven't touched it. There's things, um Hobie is really great with customer service. Is there stuff missing? Email them. They're gonna send it out. Like literally, I went to the point store. I ordered the mini yarns from their point store, like these teeny tiny skeins, the 10-gram balls. I had one color missing. They sent it out. I had it like 2 days later. A teeny tiny, and I did even get a candy because they messed up, and they they're great customer service. So that is one thing that is really a big plus, that if something is missing, if anything is wrong, they will sort it out. And if they don't have the exact thing, it's sold out, they're going to refund you, or they're going to like, do you want to change to another color? They are great at doing whatever they can. But yeah, back to the shipping issues. They probably could use more sturdy packaging when shipping all like a long distance. But the issues are, but the postal service not handling stuff carefully. That is probably the biggest issue. That they're just throwing it left, right, and center. Um, yeah, and boxes also. Like if it rains, a box will get destroyed. Cotton Kings is one of the yarns that's available on the Hobie website. The Stanley yarns I've never tried. Um, yeah, but like these small balls are available in multiple. This is the Friends cotton that they balled up in small balls. I don't know where I put them. I have another bunch of the small yarns, and they were actually cute. They're from I think it's a Norwegian company called Systrarna Grene, and they have them in store, and they're balled up like this. So they only have one ball band that's like around all of them, instead of an individual wrappers on each of them. They ball them up in four and then they put a wrapper on it. I thought that was really cute, so I did get a few of them. In a haul somewhere on my channel, I show off those. And I know that there's other companies that do these small ones. I did get one of each of all the colors when Hobie launched these ones, and I do have a plan. I don't know yet exactly what I'm going to do. Um, Other than I want this to become like a subscriber, help me pick my yarn, making a project. I was thinking about a shawl, but I haven't found a good pattern. Uh, and my thought was like to get, a ball or two and start making something, and then you pick the next color. Um, Anyone have a good idea of how I could do that? I think I had like 30 balls of yarn, and I don't know what pattern that would be good for that. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, I do have the plan for that. Darcia, hello. It's kind of I'm not sure Darcia is the way to pronounce your name, but that's how I hear everyone say it. But to me, not hearing other people say it, I would not go for that pronunciation. I I I just kind of have to assume that that's how it's pronounced since that's what I've heard. But I would probably more be Darcia rather than Darcia. Then again, I'm from Sweden. A lot of you guys' names are like I try to pronounce it to what I think American English pronunciations would be. If I would sit here and pronounce everything in the Swedish way, you would probably laugh. Well, spin the wheel to pick a color would take away the whole like my subscribers help me pick the next color thing. Um, so that's yeah, mosaic is a possibility. I'm actually okay, you can't see this. I got piles of shawls in front of me. I'm gonna put them back into the box, and I'm actually gonna show you guys the big thing that is in here today because it's never really been on my channel before, and it was supposed to be the center of attention. I kind of felt today since I did have it out here, and those who know that I have issues with wool um, will also understand that this project will never ever be finished. Um, I'll tell you shortly the story about my channel name, Scraptastic Crocheter. I started crocheting when I was pregnant and I, had to focus my money on buying baby stuff. So I couldn't really buy yarn. So I inherited people's leftovers and I had a lot of scrap yarns and made the best out of the situation. So what I did, among other things, I started a big blanket with all of these scrap yarns. And there are, acrylics, cottons, wools. And realizing after at least a year of crocheting that, okay, wool is something I have a sensitivity to. I should stay away from wool. Um, this one is, there's wool in it, and I've been holding it today, feeling a bit itchy. So I'm definitely feeling the wool. I did take some allergy meds before I started this because I was already a bit itchy today. Um, I have been doing some renovations at home here, moving things around. So where I'm now is where my office is gonna be, and also all the pretty yarns behind me. But this has not always been the case. But we're still moving things around, sorting stuff, throwing stuff, all of that fun stuff that happens when you decide to switch things. We had a 3.5 year old that needed her own room. So our office had to go bye-bye. And instead of living room, dining room, we now have office, living room, and she has a room of her own. But I've been messing around with all the yarns, moving them, sorting them, as well as other things. But this was one of my first things that I started. And I'm kind of like wishing Sandrine was here right now because big mosaic blankets. This is not as big as hers, but I know she's been showing her off for months and I never showed this one. But this is what I did with scraps. And the pattern is Havana by Tina from Iceland, the mosaic queen, and just scraps that I have combined using her pattern and as Dawn would say, my eye for color on combining the yarn colors. I did buy some of the yarns in here just because I felt like I lacked in color range, um, or it was cheap. Like this neony green, I know I bought that one because it was at the store. So, yeah, it's heavy, it's warm, and I'm only showing you parts of this because I'm trying to get you to see it all, but it's hard. I'm just hiding behind here, not knowing what you actually can see, and I hope you get to see at least some of it. But don't be afraid to use scraps. This is perfect for that. You know, I'm just sad that I'm now realizing that wool and me is not compatible, just as well as um, there's so many different thicknesses and yarns, and there's DKs, there's worsted. I used a 4mm crochet hook all the way through. I doubled up some yarns that was too thin, like double stranded it, and my tension is way different in the beginning than the uh, you know later parts. There's so many mistakes in this. um, it's all pretty and definitely not washable in a good way because there's probably going to be bleeding in colors. There's probably going to be, you know, um, shrinkage to some of the yarns, and some may not because it's so many mixed types of fabric or like the fibers. Yeah, I've noticed that some wools seem to be more okay. Um, Superwash merino and me kind of works a little bit. Alpaca and me is I can't touch it. I have a big cake, even larger than these ones, a wheel of alpaca. I can't open the bag. It's in a bag in a box. And when I open the bag, I start sneezing, I start itching, my eyes are feeling it. Yeah, without touching it. And I'm sad about that because I really would want to make something out of that cake. I bought it and thinking I was like, I'm gonna make something for my grandma because she doesn't like acrylic, and I just want to do something with it. Um, so my plan is to pop myself full of allergy meds, sit outside and crochet for like half an hour with the alpaca yarn, put it away for a week, and then do another half an hour. Um, when, you know, I guess that's what I would have to do. I don't see how else I could do something out of it. And I should really not scratch, but I'm feeling the wool fiber all over and it's scratching on my hands. It is what it is. I'm just happy that I have something to show. I might not be able to use it, I might not be able to finish it, but it definitely is pretty. Some of the colors are just really gorgeous, and some of the patterns, like in certain directions, you can see like lighter colors. You see the stripes of the ridges of the actual colors, but in other parts, you see the zigzaggy flow, the stripes. You don't really see the, illusions. Now, I'm gonna put this to the side again, and I don't know, how long am I gonna hang out, guys? I've been here for, how long have I been here? 2 hours, a little bit more, and uh, it's 12:30. I want to hang out. You guys, you just came here. I want to hang out more. So, should I continue and show more of the things, or should we, what's on your guys' hooks? Please tell me. I'm not the only one that's sharing here tonight. I want to know what you guys are doing. I'm going to drink a little bit. I'm going to say cheers, and please tell me what you are working on. Cotton gloves, for the working on wool. Yes and no. It would help my hands, I guess. I think it would be changing the way I feel the yarn, so it might make it harder to work on it. But it's not just my hands. I feel like, the itchiness of my face, my eyes. And that's, without having it in my face. Show more things. Dawn says show more things. Where are we going then? I can put that to the side. Dawn hasn't even seen all my stuff, and Dawn has been hanging out with me quite a lot. She still hasn't seen it all. Because I did put all my shawls and everything nice and neatly on the hangers behind me in the old setup I had, but I never actually showed it. So I'm sorry that you're not really getting to see anything more than my back and you get to hear me, but I am trying to get back down into this box so that I can get something out of it to show you. So how about we go for, anyone in the mood for ice cream? Because that's what I think this one is reminding me of. So we got a shadow cake in a dark pink. And this is a pattern I found on Pinterest. It was just a diagram. I did not know what to expect. And it's actually more fun this way. You got this, there's almost like a little flap that's hanging out. I don't know if you can see that really good, but it's more fun when you turn it around. When you turn it around like this, I see ice cream cones. Do you see my ice cream cones? I think this is the best way I can show it. I see ice cream cones with scoops of ice cream on top of this little ruffly edge. That's why I think this is my ice cream shawl, because I see the ice cream cones. And yeah, like most of the yarn I told you that I got from the mystery cake, the mystery bags, this is a shadow cake. Because I did get, did I buy one mystery cake bag first, and then I got 6 mystery cake bags another time, so that was like 24 cakes of yarn that I didn't get to pick the colors of, which I'm not sad about in any way, shape, or form, because I love them, but all the randomness and my color pickings, it is what it is. Where did I put that one? Speaking of mystery ones, how about discontinued color? This was called Nations Cake Denmark, because the Danish flag is red and white. And everyone that knows Hobie is in Denmark might understand why, Hobie has cakes in their own flag. I think this is the Secret Path shawl. It might be. And the popcorns did kind of eat a little bit of yarn. I haven't blocked it, but I do understand that this would get a lot bigger if I blocked it. It kind of feels like it's a bit small at this point. but it is pretty. I'm not sure red and white is my color, but a lot of the cakes I have, like the yarns I have, it's not my colors. It's not stuff I would make for myself. Then again, I made this one not liking the colors. I thought they looked a lot prettier on the website. Not saying that in any way, shape, or form disappointed with the colors. It was just I thought they would be more fall, and there's more things in here that make it look rainbowy in the beginning. There's some blue, there's some purple, and I was just hoping for more fall. So not the rainbow. Like I could have done without the blue. Purple is okay for fall, but I was hoping for just the orange, the yellows and the reds and some green. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's not really my colors, as well as this light color here is sticking out a bit in the rainbow part. But it's one of the shawls that I've actually made that I've been wearing the most for a long time. This is the one I used when I went out. And then I made the purple one, and then I decided the purple one's the one I'm going to be using. So I made it. Um, I did follow a diagram making a quite big of a portion, and then I winged the part, you know, because I felt like it was eating yarn. There are some stitches in here you can see here. There's like laying down puffs or wrap around puffs. It felt like they were eating yarn, so I stopped doing them, and then I added a more of a lacy end. And it's also it's I don't know if you saw that, but it's not a 3 pointed one, it's a 5 pointed shawl. So it's got a bit of a different shape. But I'm loving this more than I thought I would. Pretty for Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing this is the one that you thought pretty for Christmas. Yes, that's pretty Christmassy to me. Um, there is just so much going on in some of these colorways. I love them. This is a 2 universe like these ones. I used 2 universe to make a decent sized shawl. I have more of the Christmas color-ish ones. This one I did actually cut the yarn cake, as you did see on the other one. The white stripe is in the middle, and that's how the cakes come. In this one, I did the red from the inside and the red from the outside, and then I went for the next color and then the next color. So I color controlled the cake, but that's when it comes, it came. So this is the natural flow of the cake. And just like with the other one, they need to be blocked. They've just been made and tucked away. I don't remember the pattern name on this one. Lost in Time, maybe? Well, I'm happy to have you guys lurk away, crochet away, and just let me talk until you don't want to hear my voice anymore, or until you fall asleep, or whatever you feel like doing. Something that's really fun with these cakes, like now I did get 3 of these cakes, and I did a virus, and you see that this one is so much larger than the other ones. It's the same amount of yarn. It's the same cakes. It's the same. They weigh the same. It's the same. It's all the same. The difference is that the first 2 ones, well, they are pretty much the same size, right? You don't really see the difference in size. I haven't blocked them or anything. Same with the last one, it's not blocked either. But like these 2 are the same size. I'm gonna just take one of them and I'm gonna hold it up against the virus and you will see some difference. And I will explain also why, if you didn't already guess. See, there's quite some difference in size. Why is there so much different in size? Because of yarn eating stitches. The virus shawl is a big, lacy, not a lot going on. There's big holes. There's no stacking of stitches. In both the other ones, we got post stitches, we got popcorns and puffs. This one has even more intricate stuff going on. So the same yarn cake can, become so different size. I know these will be bigger when I block them, but so will this one. Oh my, maybe I blocked this one. Did I? I might have blocked this one. Looking at it, I might actually have done that. And you see the owls on this one too, the owly faces. But just, if you weren't aware of that might make a difference, it does. It does make a difference whether you use stitches that takes more yarn, like popcorns. Even though this has a lot of lacy, meshy, this is actually blocked. Yeah, this one is blocked, the other one isn't. That one has more popcorns and it's blocked and it's about the same size as this one that isn't blocked. Blocking makes a difference. That's all I need to say, really. That's where we can leave it. Let's see. This is actually a cake yarn that I found at my local dollar store. It's recycled yarn. Quality is crappy. Not crappy, but it's not as soft. It's not as nice. Random Pinterest diagram. But the cake itself is the same specs as these one. 800 meters, 200 grams. It's just a recycled yarn. And I don't know any yarn that's similar to this one. Never seen it other than when I bought it. But we got yellow, we got green, and we got actually a gray color. Did I say hi to Arthur and Mob's Place and more? Hello, welcome. So yeah, this is actually one of the earlier shawls I did in this lacy type of yarn. That's one of the first ones I got before venturing into the hobby ones. I'm happy to have you guys here. So yeah, see you later to Newfie Grandma Creates. Mm. So I'm hoping you guys are having fun because I'm having fun. I don't want to go. No. So I'm digging down and I'm getting another one. I did what was it? I did a baby blanket. Yes, I did a baby blanket. And I did get some leftovers when I did the baby blanket. A little bit of the white and a little bit of the teal. And so when I made this one, I got rid of the scraps by including them in this shawl. Because why not? If you got scraps of the same color, same yarn, I could have just taken this one and started with it and added that to the end. Or got an extra effect. Because why not? I know that some people will be like, oh, but it's more, it's nice when you're doing everything in the same, like it's flowing better. Yeah, but sometimes you can change it, right? You don't have to always do what you think you should. I did second guess myself a couple of times and then I was like, no, I'm going to try something different. And so I did. And I like how it turned out. I kind of wish that I would have had more of the darker yarn so I would have like two of the rows with the white and two of, but it's all good as it is. I'm happy with how it turned out. This one actually looks really nice like this, but I don't know why I haven't used it. But as you've seen, I've made plenty of shawls. It's hard to pick. And I don't know if these are my colors, but I'm liking how, the little effect of the extra stripes in here. They pop out. Yeah. So we like that. Then again, I like most of the things I do. It would be weird probably for me to make stuff I don't like. Then again, I don't always like the colors and they surprise me. Most of the time for the better. That they look better afterwards. Um a shawl like this one, easy pattern like a virus. I can probably get something done in like 14 hours depending on how much like 14 hours as in actual crochet time. But if I have to pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, it's hard to actually measure. But I have been trying to time myself and um of course, depending on pattern. If there's intricacy, if there's a lot of things going on in patterns, they will take longer time. If there's a lot of counting or um, patterns I haven't done before, yeah, that's going to take a little bit of a extra time. A virus like this, I don't even have to look at a pattern at this point because I've memorized it. I could just pick up a hook, pick up a yarn, and make one. There, I did show a red and white one. I have this one. I did show the one I did for my grandmother. I did show the orange, gray, and black one. I have done more virus that I don't have here. This, by the way, is also one of the Sultan, but it's a pastello. Same with this one. They are the pastello cakes. They look like that. They are lighter colors. And yeah, they are like that. I like the color of this one. It's called Gooseberry. But it's like happy. Happy Halloween neon green. Happy Halloween neon green. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna hide underneath this. Am I getting tired? Maybe. Am I having fun? Absolutely. Is Dawn sleeping? Probably. I said she was gonna fall asleep, hanging out in my. Yeah. We got more universe. This is actually what one ball of universe in a granny stitch would be enough for. So this is a smaller one. So you don't really get like one of them big drapey shawls out of one. But this could be for those who want to. It's going to be hard for me to show, but like if you are the type of person that like to, wrap around your head, I have big I got my headset on is just stupid. But yeah, more of a hair wrap thing maybe with the smaller size. Maybe it's too big for that, but why not? I don't remember the color of this, but I have done quite a lot of it because I did have 6 of these cakes at one point. I did a Christmas sweater and I did this one and I did one for my mother in the same color. my Christmas sweater is somewhere as well, hidden in the other bag. We might get there. So I'm gonna make space for this one. This is a bigger thing, so we're gonna move that one to the side, and I'm actually at the bottom of my box now, so I can put the stuff back in the box. There we go. I need to fold everything at some point, but I did make myself a beach cover up. That some is joking and saying the beach cover up that covers up nothing. That might be true in some ways, but I did start with a Halloween limited edition colorway, and it is available now, and I don't remember the name of it, but it did remind me of a sunset. The color is Freaking Nightmare. It did remind me of a sunset, so we got these yellow orangey colors that turns into more of an orange, and then we're going into the pinks, a little bit of a purple, and black, and that's what that color is. That's one cake. And while I was doing this beach cover up, I kind of got a little bit sidetracked, not hanging out with crocheters all the time. There was a volcano that erupted on Iceland, and I stumbled across a really awesome guy called Isaac that does live drone videos. He flies a drone with a video camera, and he flew over the volcano on Iceland like on a daily basis. He went to film, and the shots from the drone above and the colors of the lava, I just sidetracked to the point of realizing that I wasn't looking at a sunset. I was looking at lava. And I also realized that I needed more yarn to finish this dress. I only had one cake. So what did I do? I got me one of those cakes. Because when lava, hot lava, when it comes, it's yellow. And then as it cools down and gets further out, it will eventually turn gray. So that's what I did. So I went from just a beach dress cover up, something to, put over the bikini, to having a dress, a beach cover up, that is now also known as my hot as lava dress. And I'll feel on fire wearing it. I know it might be silly, but it made me giggle. I thought I was really clever with the name. And, and yeah, I did add a little bit of the light gray at the bottom as a trim around the straps that goes around my neck and around my chest. And in the back, I did a deep plunging, neckline. I did have to add the straps because, you know, it didn't really cover my butt. So I had to put this into secure so it doesn't fall too far down. Hello, Zach. How are you? So yeah, that's why they're joking that it doesn't cover a lot, because it didn't until I put the straps in for security, at least that one. So I'm really, really loving how the colors are. It's fantabulous and awesome-tastic. Yeah, I hope everyone is just doing what feels best to them. If you feel like you have other things to do, then don't feel bad. I'm appreciating every single minute that you decide to hang out here, because there's so many other places you could be and you decided to hang out with me. So thank you very much. And also, I do love the people that just wants to lurk until they fall asleep and, you know, hang out. in their sleep. Am I whispering in your ear while you're sleeping? Maybe. Are you going to dream about yarn or crochet if I do? Will you wake up and say, I need some cake yarns in my life? I don't know. Don't blame me if your wallet doesn't agree, because I'm only here sharing my love for the yarns. Yeah, but it is, it does cover up some, and I would now wear this to places, like I would wear this wherever I would wear a bikini. I'm pretty sure that if I would have been in the States, I would have also felt comfortable wearing it at Walmart, because apparently you can wear wherever you like whatever you want at Walmart. Maybe that's not fully true, but it feels like that's the how Walmart's being described to people across the seas, that you can have just about anything. Um, well, wear about just about anything, walking in there, and no one really cares. Is that true or false? Could you wear anything at Walmart? Wouldn't people just be like kicked out if they're. Now, then again, I've seen so many videos of people wearing weird stuff and just at Walmart. Or is it a thing on other places too? Why is it just there though? Or why does people feel more comfortable doing that there compared to other places? Polly wants to crafter. Yeah, I'm always gonna be like not sure if I'm saying it right, because I want to say Polly wants a cracker. I know that's not what it says, but it feels like it's ingrained in my head. So this one has been hanging out on my chair for a bit. So you might have seen this one hanging out there. This is one of the early shawls I did. And now I actually can show you what the yarn looks like. This is what the yarn looks like. This is a yarn that's, what do we have? 67% acrylic, 33% nylon, 5mm crochet hook, and it's all these fun colors. We got some blacks and pinks and light blues and grays, and worked up it looks like this. And this is actually a shawl that I did early. um I've been wearing it in so many ways. I don't know, now I have the stuff over there. I'm gonna put move my chair to this side just so I can show you how I would use this one, because it's so big. So it's actually big enough, I'm not going to tangle my cord in, that I would take it like this, and I would tie a knot in the back. Bye for now, Darcia. And then I would have it like this, kind of like an actual garment, but it wouldn't be all over the place. So I would be able to use my hand, cook, deal with the kids, and that type of thing. And it wouldn't be going anywhere, but I still would be warm. So that's a perk, like when you're making a big shawl like this one. And there's double crochets on one row, and then there's the triple, and chains. So these are taller, and then there's just double crochets. It's a very simple pattern. I followed a video tutorial. But yeah, definitely when you're looking at it like this and looking at the yarn in the store, it's hard to imagine what the yarn is going to look like. But it's pretty. 6 balls of yarn. So that's 600 grams, 1,200 meters to make this humongous thing. So that's that one. Skipping out on cardigans for a second and going for, what am I going for? Another huge shawl. This is probably, yeah, it's probably pretty similar in size to the other one. We did talk about the Denmark variation of the cakes. Now we're coming to talk about Sweden. The nation cakes also came in a Sweden colorway, and the Swedish flag is, you want to guess what colors the Swedish flag is if you didn't already know? We're blue and yellow. And just like the other one, it did come in blue, yellow, and blue. That was what the cake looked like. So what I actually have here is 4 cakes. I held 2 at a time, double stranded. So I started with 2 cakes that went from the blue to the yellow and then to the blue. And midway into the blue is where the yarn ran out, and I picked up the other 2 cakes and I went from blue to yellow to blue because that's, the nature of the cakes. It's puff stitches and V stitches. That's the whole shawl. It's puff stitches and V stitches. We've got 800 grams of yarn, and it's heavy. It's dense, it's cotton, and I'm not going to freeze at all if I have this one. I'm not the one that's been wearing it the most, though, because I have the other one that has been my go-to, which meant that this one was available for someone else to kind of claim. So this, my better half, he stole this, at least when it's cold. And I'm thinking he's probably going to go get it fairly soon because we're feeling the temperatures going down now. So this one's probably going to just end up over, hanging over his chair back. So it's easier for him to get it for when he's cold. So more of the green. This is 4 cakes of the green that I made into my Christmas sweater. Basically V-stitches. Kind of looks like granny's because it's the V-stitches like a granny cluster, or like granny clusters, not making the middle one, making a chain instead of the 3, the double crochets to make a cluster. So it's a bit lacier than a granny stitch. And I don't like to have, the seam on the back. It can be twisting, or if you keep going the same direction all the way around, you will get a crooked seam. But when you do like I did and switch, so when you get to this, you turn, you go all the way around, and you go, and then, turn back, you get a straight seam. You do get a bit of a funky color variation or color flow when you're using yarns like this, but I'm more happy with the straight seam, so I'm all happy with that. And I did just go for, this is a pattern that's on Hobie's website. I don't know what the pattern is, but it's just straight. It has no shape. So I did take this. It's just the silky, the I would use this for Christmas wrappers, but it's the fabric one. And I just took it in here and wrapped it, and I tie a knot there. So it's kind of like a Christmas wrapper present thing, and Christmassy, green with golden sparkles. It's perfect for my Christmas holidays. I love it. That's how I like it. Yes. Hello, Herb. How are you? I am really, really happy to see so many people still here with little me from Sweden. It's 1 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I just amazed. Um, I'm not used to having this many people to hang out with me. I can see that the last months of hanging out in the YouTube streets has changed how my YouTube journey has been and what's to come. That's yeah. I'm just a little bit slightly shocked, I guess. Happy to see all of you guys here. I'm just not used to it. Then again, you can probably tell that I'm excited to talk about my yarn. So I did this one, which is a different type of shawl. It does come with the cowl neck, so you just have to pull it over your head, and it does have like this. I'm trying to not mess too much with my microphone, but we have this in the front, and then this is around the neck. I did follow a pattern. I don't remember the pattern name now, but there's patterns for this. If you wanted to make it, I could find it. But yeah, this part is actually very long, so you scrunch it up. Some people actually use this as like a hood and put over the head. But I think this needs to be a little bit longer to actually, cover that part. But the colors are really nice. And this is cookie yarn. I'm doing other things in cookie yarn. I actually have something here that I didn't even talk about today. I've been making a hexagon cardigan. And this is the same color, but in a granny square. So there's a lot of difference in, here we got some type of stitches, here we got other types of stitches, and another type of stitches. And it's the same yarn, but you get all these variations to what the yarn will look like. So it's really, you never really know what a yarn's going to look like, but because it also depends on your stitches and what you're making. This yarn really does have totally different characters and totally different styles with these different stitches. But the other half of this cardigan is being made into a blue color. So half and half, blue and gold. So that's something that I'm working on right now. That's on my desk here in front of me. And the other one is a shawl that's just hanging out here. How about we talk about more yarn cakes? Who could have guessed? This is actually a hexagon cardigan made with the yarn cakes instead, the thin cotton ones instead of the acrylic. So this is more of a summery, light, airy feel. I did it with a semi-short sleeve. It's, it's a longer sleeve than this top, but it's definitely not too long for wearing in the summer. And I did this with 2 colors of the cakes, pretty similar to these two actually. This is the dahlias and these are the twisters, but you can see that we got this one started here in greens to yellows to reds, greens to yellows to reds. And the other one, we're going from yellows to green. The other one's going yellows to green. There's a lighter green in there. This one doesn't really have as light of a green, but it's still pretty much this same colorways in totally two different yarns. This is the dahlias. These are the twisters. 100% cotton, 800 meters, 200 grams. 1,000 meters, 250 grams. More yarn, acrylic cotton 50-50 blend, or 45-55, something like that. I have a different idea for those. Should I share my idea? And maybe you'll be able to hold me accountable if I change my mind. These yarns, the twisters, are really awesome in the way that they have some yarns, like the colors are available in solids as well. These are the solids. Like this one here, this outer color is the same as this one. So you have the solids that's the same as like in case you're doing a shawl or something and you just want to add a little extra on the end and you want the same color, you can find it. But also they are using the same colors in the same in different cakes. So if I would start in the center of this cake, working my way from the yellow to the green, this outer green is the same green as the center of this one. So the plan is to go center, out, center, out, and just make one long big gradient. And I don't know. My initial plan was a poncho. Maybe that's still what it's going to be, but I'm definitely going to work them together from inside out and from inside out. Good night, Nancy. Well, later you're going to go edit videos. That's nice. We get to see more videos over at Nancy soon. Keeping my fingers crossed that you get it done to whatever you want it to become without too much technical difficulties and all of that stuff, because that happens when you least want it to. For some reason, it just happens. So, yeah. I've been wearing this on some streams, and I've been wearing it more when I've been going away because I really like this one. I don't have that many cute tops. I don't have that many fancy outfits, and I don't really have that many places to go. It was finished in time for me to wear it on Easter. And I've been wearing it for like, special occasions. I am really proud of how I made it. I kind of figured out how to not cut the yarn. I don't like sewing in yarn tails. That's why I love these cakes. They do the job for me. I start the yarn and I end the yarn, and that's the yarn ends that I need to deal with. So what I did, I'm going to try and show you guys. I started here and I worked my way up here. And then I worked down and round the sleeve, and when I was at this point, I closed it on the way up to the top. So I never cut the yarn on this side, and then I worked my way up and down, and then I started to do the decreases for the neckline to get this different type of shape of the neckline. And when I got to this point here, I did close it up with the green yarn on this side, and on this side you can see the seam here. It's the red one, so I did close with one cake on the one side and the other cake on the other side, so it's closed on both sides. And then I did actually, here you can see I added a few rows to the point where I only had to sew in one the yarn end from each, basically. So that's I didn't cut the yarn. I made all of this and I did not cut the yarn. And I'm really happy I managed to figure that out because I don't like cutting the yarn. Why would I buy this type of yarn if I wanted to cut it? I have done in the past, but I wanted to try it and I managed and I'm happy. Yes. Have you ever done something like that? Pushed yourself, tried your luck, tried something new, different? Something we haven't talked about on my channel in like forever. I have made some hats. Hat season is coming. Maybe I should make some more. We got some scrap yarns actually. So just two tones of gray, and we got one row of double crochets, 2 rows of single crochets. Very simple. So that just popped up out of here. What else do we have? We got some, oh, I did this one. It's a infinity scarf. So we got basically a flat and then it's crossed over on one side in the colors gray with some colored specks and a dark, well, like a tweedy. And then we got a darker gray, a brown, and a reddish brown. So I wanted to have something a little bit more fun, so I made it into like an infinity type kind of shrug. I don't know. Or it's a wrap. It's a little bit bigger, but it's probably not my favorite make because I don't know. I hauled this acrylic yarn. I wanted to try it and I made something. Yes, that's what I did. Uh, there are some hours of work. Yes, I can agree to that. How many hours? I could not tell you. And we're not. Ooh, there are so many items that I don't still have in my possession. Um, we can talk about some of the items that actually meant a lot to me that I don't have. I do have an aunt that's battling breast cancer. I made her a shawl in one of these cakes, a twister cake, more similar to this one. It has reds, white, and black. So it's like red in the center and then white and black. Yeah, that shawl was really gorgeous, but I felt like she needed a warming hug. I I do have, when there are people in my family or relatives that is sick, I feel like I want to make something for them to cheer them up. So I did make a big, big blanket in actually these two colors here, limelight and fuchsia, the cookies. And that blanket was really big. It was probably closer to a queen size bed, but it's a square, so it would be enough, for the width of the bed, but not for the length. But he, um, yeah, is my husband's uncle. He's battling cancer in the stomach, and at this point, we're happy if we get to see him for Christmas. Um, Most likely not next summer for midsummer. So we did have a great midsummer celebration hanging out with them this year. But I made that big blanket because, chemo is gonna make him cold and all of that. And, that's before we knew where we were gonna be today. But that blanket was also similar to these ones, a different pattern. Did I make it in the other pattern? What pattern did I use? I don't remember. But yeah, so I do appreciate, friends, family, and that. And if someone is not feeling good, then that's a good thing, a good time to make something for them. Yes, there's a lot of you guys that have videos to do and other things to do. I'm totally happy with you ditching me to make videos because that's more content that I can enjoy when I'm not able to hang out with you guys like this. So, yes, please go work. Yes, that's awesome. We like that. We like that a lot. And by we, I'm talking about me and all the other people hanging out in the chat. Don't you agree? We want more content to watch, to have in our ears, hanging out when we are crafting. Yeah, okay. Um, I'm I'm feeling I'm happy showing what I have today. I've been here for quite some time now, so now we don't need to overdo it. There's still, we're past the 3 hour mark, and that's I was live Sunday, which is basically yesterday because, well, it's Tuesday. I started on Monday. So 2 days in a row, I'm hanging out here with my friends. And we did start out with the pumpkins. I'm going to go back. We're going to revisit. We started talking about what I did because you did see me work on this when I was hanging out with Dawn, and now it's finished. I got some purple leaf, purple stem, and a little purple squirrely squiggly bit here. But the sparkles. You can definitely see the sparkles in the orange, but the sparkle in the purple is really showing nicely. And also I like that the sparkle in the orange is goldy orange and the sparkle in the purple is purple. Yeah, I'm happy to share my stuff. I'm sad that I don't share them often enough. And I do hang out here on Sundays with Dawn Yarndall, and we do go live 10 p.m. my time. I know Dawn says that it's early for her because she's usually witchy watching like late night hanging out. As far as I know, we do already have the next Sunday scheduled. So if you pop into my channel and go to my lives, you will be able to see the next scheduled live and what time that would be for you so that you could check out, like, if you're sleeping, if you're doing other things, maybe you're in church at that time. I have no idea what people are doing on Sundays, but I'm hanging out here. I'm just uh, that I get to hang out with you guys. Yes, I just wish I could do it more often. The Sunday is what I managed to negotiate with the family. So I could have a little bit more of a schedule, maybe a little bit more routine, and maybe get the watch hours up because at this rate, I'm pretty sure that I am going to get the subscribers needed for monetization before I get the watch hours. And yes, I know I have more than 500 subscribers. I'm in Sweden. So I don't have that fan funded mini monetization available here. It is for, as far as I know, US residents only. And I will have to work my way to the regular, normal monetization, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, and at some point I'm hoping I'm gonna get there. We do have a little bit of a hope and dream, a few of us, to have, to be monetized before Christmas, because we do know that YouTube and also people, companies that spend money on putting ads on YouTube like to do that before Christmas. So if anyone wants, if you're monetized before Christmas, you might be uh, getting all the extra AdSense revenue from before the Christmas. It's apparently a part of like a big chunk of where YouTubers make their money, the AdSense before Christmas. That's why people like to put out videos like doing the Advent, like everyday countdown for Christmas because of AdSense. So if you actually try to make something out of the YouTube and get the monetization to become maybe your full-time job, um, yeah, I do recommend putting some extra work in now and make sure you have the monetization done before Christmas to get some extra, Christmas money, yarn money, I don't know. The broccoli is back. How are you now? Have you been up to mischievous things? I'm just sitting here sipping my Coca-Cola and talking about hoping to get monetized one day or but I know that my big hurdle is watch hours. And I don't think I'm the only one feeling like that right now. But we're working slow but steady, and when we are working together, we can achieve a lot of things. I've seen so many people in just the short time that I've been hanging out in live chats, seeing all the people just supporting each other, helping out with watch hours, helping out with subscribers, sharing out the channels, um, all the different raids between the lives. It's such a nice thing to see. And it's just um, it's just really nice to see this community thriving when we work together. All the people that just there's been like monetization parties left, right, and center. Has it been 1 week the last month that it was, you know, nothing? I don't think so. As far as I know, there's been at least a channel a week getting monetized, it feels like. And I'm happy. Um, English is not, well, it is a second language for me. I am in Sweden. I'm born and raised in Sweden. We do learn English from second grade in school, and then from sixth grade we pick up a third language. I picked French. I don't remember any of it, other than basically saying I'm sorry I'm late, and I guess I might have been late to a French class or two. Otherwise, that wouldn't be stuck in my head. Um, but yeah, English has been a lot of hours on, playing online games for many years, and then um I do have two kids, but my oldest son, his dad is actually he's born in Sweden, and he lived most of his life in the US, and then he came back to Sweden, and that's when I met him. So I I do still speak English with him, even though he speaks Swedish as well. Um, just a habit, I guess. Dawn is out walking the dog. Is that what you're doing? Out of the house on your phone. Well, I'm happy that you took me along with you. So, puppy needed a walk. That's good. I'm sad that you had to leave the comfort and warmth of your bed to go and take care of the dog, but I totally get it. The dog needs to be prioritized as well. Yeah, it's always fun, the whole thing with my language or my accent or lack of accent. Um, for everyone who didn't know, well, probably, now you know I'm from Sweden, but before you realize that I'm not, and born and raised speaking English, where would you guess I was from? Chris is still hanging out here. There's been a couple of really fun guesses to where I'm from, and some of them I was like, I can't even try to imagine what an accent from certain parts of the world would look like, would sound like. But apparently, if you're in the States, you know kind of like regional accents a bit better than I do. I I couldn't tell where people were from, more of like maybe a direction. Like if I couldn't say that, okay, you're from Texas. I would probably just say that you're from the southern parts, more of like southern, middle southern. But I could probably not really say like, oh, you're from Texas, or I don't know the surrounding states. Dawn never even made it to bed. Hey, you said you were taking me to go and relax on the bed, and you didn't. Western European, Eastern Europe. Well, I couldn't tell you. Team no sleep. Hashtag team no sleep. Yeah, hashtag it's 1:30 a.m. What am I doing here? I have to get up at 7 a.m. to kick a kid out of bed and get him to the school bus. That is Ukraine. Well, we do have something in common with Ukraine. We have the same color of the flags. We got blue and yellow. Eastern Europe. Yeah. Eastern. I don't want to go. Like, there's still 12 people hanging out here. That is more than I had on, like, in total on some of my live streams in the beginning. We made a new record today. We broke a new record. Well, we did break that record yesterday, and now we broke it again with the um, highest amount of people at one time hanging out here in my chat. And I'm also guessing, maybe, probably, hopefully, possibly, that I have more watch hours than I did yesterday. Because that's a possibility too. So that's also a break. But I don't think that was a record breaking one yesterday. Because we did the 6 hour stream and 6.5 hour stream. Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a lot of Nordic country crocheters because in the Nordic countries, people like to knit because that's a stronger tradition here. So we do have a little church get together 2 Mondays a month. And I am kind of like the black sheep in the crowd sitting there crocheting with all the knitters. Some people do bring other fiber crafts as well. We've had cross stitchers and other things as well. But the majority of the people here um, in the Nordic countries like the knitting, especially wool, especially eco-friendly, sustainably sourced, um, animal rights, all of that yummy stuff. So it's very often that it feels like they're frowning upon crocheters, synthetic fibers. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna continue do me. I have some acrylic fibers because I love them. I do use also recycled acrylic fibers or recycled plasticky fibers. I would say this is polyester, but it's recycled. So there's that as well. I'm not gonna follow the popular opinion of doing all that because I can't do the wool anyway, because of the sensitivities and like allergic issues that I'm having. So it is what it is, and I'm gonna do what makes me happy. Some people just cannot afford the wool. Some people think it's really expensive with left, right, and center, and the cheap acrylic is what you can afford. Then do you, you know? just because I'm sitting here with all the colorful Hobie cakes and feel like I'm totally trash at making things with this type of yarn. I don't use it a lot. I have it, but I don't use it very often because I don't like sewing in the yarn tails. That's cotton yarns. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I gravitate to. I like my these types of things because I don't have to do all of the yarn tails. This makes me more happy. And with the sparkles, hey, we did talk about. I did this one. I started this one. Did I start it yesterday? And I finished it today. I made a dice bag sparkle yarn, same yarn as that. And when I did that one, I did a basket, same yarn, sparkle yarn. I got sparkles in my hair for today. I've noticed that at the moment I'm on some type of sparkle hype train, Halloween sparkle. That's the stuff that makes me happy. So that's what I'm doing. Colorful stuff. Like, who's not going to be happy with all these colors? These colors are just gorgeous and definitely colors other people would not look at because it's too something something. Yeah, it is what it is. Yes, yes. So, what are you guys doing now? Are we working on something? Dawn's walking the dog. I'm talking to the point where I have a dry mouth. I usually don't get a dry mouth like this, but now I've been talking for 3 hours. Three, I just said I was here for 3 hours, and that was 20 minutes ago. Where did those 20 minutes just disappear? Baby blanket. Snowflake squares. Is that like a mosaic snowflake square? Because I've seen a couple of mosaic squares with snowflakes on them. That's really pretty, and it's, coming into the wintry season, snowflakes is definitely something that's going to be more popular as we, pass Halloween. Before Halloween, everyone's going to talk about the pumpkins and all the other spooky, ghouly stuff. I think I might have seen that pattern. This one's really actually soft. For being a sparkle yarn and acrylic that was cheap, I'm surprised that I can't really tell that the sparkles are in here. It's not scratchy at all. I could definitely have like make a shawl out of this yarn and not worry about um scratchiness, because some of these yarns you really feel the sparkles, these thin threads. I think they said on the ball band that this is Lurex. Yeah, 97% acrylic, 3% Lurex, and I did have this color as well. So I have more of all of them colors. I was thinking about making some smaller pumpkins. Um, Making one pumpkin in the purple and um, this one. Uh, and making one pumpkin with these two colors. I will see what I'm gonna make. Definitely not gonna make any more pumpkins today though. But I'm thinking that I should have like 3 pumpkins that matches. Purple, beige, and orange, and is it beige, gray, silver? I couldn't really tell. They actually don't really have a color either. The only color we have dye a lot, and then it has this number, and the other ones has like 2, 3, and whatnot. I did only get these 3 colors, but they did also have a blue one. I did put a short up not long ago where I'm walking through the store that has these. Um, do I have? Where is it? Yeah, it's a Rustagarn. Rusta, and they do have more yarn during this season. Like the winter is coming, more people's going to be indoors and be crafty, and the yarn sells more now. So and that's it's more yarn there than it normally is. So when I walked in there, I did get my a little short out of that. It's kind of sad though. I think I messed up when I did that short because it's kind of segmented. I'm walking a little bit and then stop and then I walk, you know, it's a little bit kind of choppy, I guess. It's not a nice even flow in how I filmed it. So I think people are just swiping because they think, okay, it's stopped now, it's finished, but it actually continues. I need to get better at those skills, making shorts, making videos, making everything. I did I did already upload a video that is going live in a few hours with a little bit of a yarn haul. And then I did film another video, which is kind of an unboxing of, well, haul unboxing of another purchase that I did. And that one I did that earlier today, so I'm thinking that video might come up in a day or two. But also, I did order from Hobie, and if we're lucky, the mailman is going to pick up the order the at the Hobie warehouse tomorrow because it did not go with the mailman today, unless I'm actually going to double check. There is a possibility that it did get picked up just after I checked. No, it is still at the Hobie warehouse. So most likely it will be picked up tomorrow. And if it's picked up tomorrow and everything goes as normal, I will have, well, technically today, because it is past midnight. So it is 1:40 a.m. If it's get picked up today, I will have it my time tomorrow. 11 a.m. is usually where DHL is happy to go and drop it off at my local, pickup station, or like, where DHL delivers in my town. So Wednesday, 11 a.m. if I'm lucky. That's what I could have the order that I placed Friday. I think that they got kind of swarmed with orders now with the Hobie Halloween yarn releasing. Yes. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. More watch hours. I really appreciate it. Like, any watch hour is a good watch hour, that's for sure. That's kind of why I'm dragging this out. There's still 9 people here. Maybe I can get a few more minutes in before I totally need to crash, but I'm having so much fun. Yeah, Nightbot is telling me to hydrate, so I will. I'm just really enjoying everything here. I'm just not even feeling like. Oh, thank you, Arthur. I'm just realizing that, things is just changing fast in these YouTube streets. Just months ago, I was sitting here talking about the yarns that made me happy. And now I have people that actually, are happy to see me. My first video was uploaded on November 26th, almost 2 years ago. And it was a video where I was talking about cookie yarns. I did a cookie yarn review. And since then, I have a couple of new more colors, and I've used the yarn a lot more than I had. Yeah, Dawn is awesome. We have to thank Dawn for a lot of things. She shouted me out today. She likes to hang out with me on Sundays, and she doesn't think I'm a freak that only geeks out about yarn. That's what a lot of people around here is thinking. I don't have a lot of friends and family, and they're like, all you do is talk yarn. Yeah, maybe not since I started hanging out in the YouTube streets because I'm getting my, dose of talking yarn with other people so I don't have to push it down the throat of my family and friends, which is good. But that, I'm the type of person that if I go in the car ride and not driving, of course, if I'm in the back seat or a passenger, I will have yarn and a hook with me. Hanging out, if we're going to the in-laws over the day, I know we're going to be there for like a bunch of hours. I will bring some yarn and sit on the couch and talk to them and just you know, I have the yarn with me. And there are sometimes people like, do you always have to bring yarn? Yeah, because reasons. It is it is my happy place. It is my therapy. Yeah, I know that the multiple lives a week and multiple hours and all of that is the way to go. I wish I could do more. I'm at the moment just happy that I can do Sundays, doing lives, and it is um it is gonna, you know, be fun as long as it's fun. I know that in the past I've, posted videos and then fallen off the wagon and didn't make videos for a while, and it's hard to get back up on the horse. But it feels like I have some momentum now, and I'm feeling it's easier to do videos. It's easier to talk about it. It's easier to I guess it's also like I always had high expectations and high pressure, and I put that on myself. If a video isn't up to the standard I want it to be, I'm not going to post it. And I've been more and more like, okay, I'm going to record it, I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to publish it for people, even though I might not be happy with the what it is, that I, you know, maybe should re-record it for one reason or another. It could be just a background noise or something, but it's still I'm trying to lower my standards because otherwise I'm not going to post anything whatsoever. Um, we're learning from each other, Dawn. We're like all of us is learning things. You're helping me out with Nightbot and other things. The frosty broccoli's been very helpful as well. There's just a very loving, helping community here. Yeah, I don't really like when I say family and friends. I have one friend that is not blood related really that I talk to um kind of often, I guess. But she's also the sister I choose and the godmother of my son. So it kind of is a person that's been in my life for actually longer than some of my sisters. But then again, I my sisters are not my sisters by blood. They are um, my dad's, new family. Not his kids either. They're just a bonus. But yes. I don't give all the answers. I do know weird facts and I can spit out weird things when no one really asks for them. I guess it's a trick I have. And sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. Apparently, I should eat something, or at least my stomach tells me that it needs something. I'm not really there yet, but it's all good. Just sorry if you can hear it. So, yeah. Um, I like to have easy stuff on the go, like patterns that more or less is I don't have to refer to a pattern. That that's why I have all of these things going at the same time. Like I have easy stuff like a shawl or something that I can take in the car, and then I have the intricate stuff that I need to check patterns like this one that I would work on when I'm home. yeah, it's just easier to take the easy stuff out, like a granny stitch, or that's something you can take on the go compared to some of the other things that's more, well, at least, if you don't know a pattern by heart, don't do it on the go. That's a good rule to have, because frogging is one of my least favorite things to do, unless it is for something really, really special, or like if you have a really special yarn. I don't know where I have it now because I've been throwing stuff left and right and center. I don't know where that yarn is, or I I did show it earlier. A shawl that was in a really fancy special yarn, and I did frog that one a couple of times before I actually decided what it was supposed to become. So that was a special reason, because the yarn was special. So yeah. More people popped in. Do we have more people here to say hi to? I just see that the numbers popped up, but I don't see anyone new talking. But hello, whoever's lurking, and welcome. I'm totally happy with all of you lurkers, because I lurk too. A lot of times I go into lives, I say hello, I ask people how they're doing. There could be something I'm saying, like maybe I recognize a name here or there, but most of the time I just say hi, and let you guys know that I'm there, and then I crochet and listen. But I'm not the very chatty type in the chats, and I know that I should get better so that you guys could get to know me better, and want to come and hang out at my place too. Um, but I'm learning, and I'm just happy that I get to hang out. That's why I like to hang out in the lives. I realized kind of recently that I like the lives, just because of the instant, um like if I want to say something, if I want to, like, oh, I like this one, or give my opinion, or anything like that, um the chat is there. Yeah, watch more than chat. Yes. It's the same with just videos. I do watch videos, and I can binge watch it, and I can be not leaving comments. I do thumbs up, but I should I should do a lot of these things. But I don't, because that takes away from my crochet time. And I'm sorry if that sounds evil, but I'm here for crocheting. You keep me company, and I give you thumbs up, and you know, that's that was is what works best for me. But realizing how big of a difference it does make when you comment, and I am trying. I do that. I'm trying. But there's always room for improvement. There's always things we can improve. I did have a little conversation about, things kind of philosophical here at home earlier, because we have been renovating, we've been moving stuff around. Things have been, I did have the office in one room, and then we switched that with my son's room. So temporary, I had another office, and then now the office is where it's at, downstairs, where it was, intended to end up. And now both kids have their a room of their own. Um, but there's been days where we didn't get anything done, and there's days where we did so much that we couldn't have. There's no energy left for 2 days to come. We were just crashed out. And today we were like, if there's anything in life that you could change, um, just one thing that would improve your quality of life, or maybe it's one thing that you stopped doing, what would that thing be that could impact your life in, a quite of a big way? But it's one thing. And we kind of came to the conclusion that we're both just as bad, um, and we're just really good at procrastinating. So if both of us could stop procrastinating and get stuff done, things would just be so much better. And it's like I procrastinate everything but crochet. But I also do procrastinate some crochet stuff, like writing patterns, recording videos. Yeah, I big procrastinator here. It was Yeah, I've noticed that, Brett, that hanging out has done a lot. I can tell from how many people that has, popped up in my channel for just the last month. There's a lot more people hanging out with me. Then again, there's also a lot more people that I've discovered that I can hang out with. So it's not just a one-way street. But I have been on panels as much as I can whenever it's, works out with family life and that. Um, and also, there is the part where you don't want to step on people's toes. Today, I just got the opportunity to go live, so I did. This was just so very impromptu. Never planned it. It just happened. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for it because I can. And I don't know when the next opportunity is going to be. Like, I was live yesterday. I did go live a little bit hanging out on panel with Ursula today, yesterday. It's Tuesday morning, but it's I'm loving having people to hang out with, and I wish I would have found you guys sooner. Like if we'd been here just half a year ago, I basically could have gone to come and hang out like this all day when, kids in school, the other kid at daycare, hubby working, and right now he's not working. So we got one kid at home, he's at home, we've been doing renovations. Um, so yeah, that's gonna change eventually, but we don't know when. Oh, itch. These headsets are it's itchy. Been covering my ears up too much. Not a lot of air. I have to occasionally move them. I'm sorry. Too much information. But my ear was itchy. And I got rid of my band-aid. I don't know why I did that, if the damage is okay or not. I managed to cut my finger while trying to cut green tomatoes. And I was going to try a new recipe. I've never done green tomato chutney before. So I did get a lot of green tomatoes from harvesting everything that's on my plant outside because it's getting colder and colder. I didn't want to have a freeze night. I don't think that's going to happen yet, but it's going to catch me off guard at some point. So I just wanted to deal with the tomato situation. So a lot of green tomatoes. I was like, I'm going to do something with it and not just, do one thing with everything. So green tomato chutney was my plan. And the recipe stated that every 20 minutes for about 3 hours, you'd have to stir the pot. I put an alarm and I did that for like the first maybe 2 hours. And then I forgot to set the alarm and then I burned it. So that's that. But yeah, I'm I need to wrap it up. I doesn't matter how much fun I'm having. I was like, should I push it another 15 minutes and do 4 hours? But I think I have to go and take care of the little one because she woke up now, and I need to get her back into bed. So thank you everyone for coming and hang out, and I hope to see you guys here soon. Yeah, I'll be back here Sunday to hang out with Dawn. We're scrap dolling it and just having fun. We're having a little party, like we do every Sunday, because we're just having fun. It's all good fun, um, on our on our channels. That's what we're here for. Hanging out with friends, having fun, and just talk about the stuff we love. Sometimes that also ends up, Dawn dressed up as Cruella de Vil the other day, and Halloween is something that's close to both of our hearts. But yeah, I love to see people leaving comments on my videos, so I need to get better at leaving comments on everyone else's videos. That's just, I need to get better. I'm sorry that I am lurking around in the bushes. Thank you everyone for coming and hang out I love you guys. It's just happy place. Yes. Bye bye. I hope you just sweet dreams. Have a great rest of your day and all of that. I really don't want to go. You're too much fun. I love you guys. Bye bye.